The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is October the 23rd, and if you want to join the conversation, all you have to do is call the number for the conference call at 1717-908-1834, and I'll open your line and get you on here and have you make your comments. And we can go from there. Here we are again. I don't know. Let me just say that, in my opinion, what's going on in this country is the society is devolving and going backwards. That's evident in what we're going through. And I guess I get confused about what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say about what I know? What's up, East Coast? What am I supposed to say about what I know is going on in this country? And I've been screaming for years about this shit, and people call in here and they want to argue with what do you say? And for me personally, the only thing I can do is actually, secure myself, look up for myself, try to protect myself, which is what I've been trying to do, But I would like to warn people and have them, at least have some type of response to what we see here. What's up, Frodo? And not get blindsided by what is obviously going on here. And what's going on is white supremacy is taking over America. The KKK is in charge, and white racists are really hell bent on oppressing black people in this country, and we're living up under tyranny because Donald Trump wants to be a dictator, and he's systematically tearing apart the systems and the governmental protections in this country for everybody, right? For everybody. So whenever you fall up under conditions like this, let's say you're on one of the lower rungs of the ladder, and you're down here with everybody else on the lower rungs, and you want to warn everybody else that's on the lower rungs with you. But as you warning people, those same people that are down here with you are just fighting you back and telling you that the people at the top aren't throwing shit down on the lower rungs. And you see them, you telling them, look, they throwing shit down here. They don't want us to climb this goddamn ladder. And every time you go up a couple of rungs, they throw some shit down to knock you down a couple of rungs. And you down here telling the people, look, they're throwing stuff down here to stop us from getting any higher. And then you got the ABCs and the sergeants like, they ain't throwing nothing. That was going to fall anyway. And they just ignorant, So That's how I kind of feel in a certain way, and amongst my own community too, because a lot of people in the black community, for some reason, because of religion, um, don't want to listen to nobody like me because of my stance on religion, and somehow or another I'm evil and I'm not supposed to exist, but I'm screaming and yelling to help protect them too. So it's kind of like you're stuck. Nobody listens to you, and the only thing I can do is tell you my truth, my experience, and it's coming to fruition. Everything that I was saying about racism on this airway here, everything that I told you about white supremacy, everything that I told you about how evil and savage these motherfucking people are, it's all coming to fruition. I mean, look at how many boats that they've done and blown up um, off the coast of Venezuela for no goddamn reason. They're killing innocent goddamn people. They're killing innocent people. During the No Kings protest day, they said they had the Marines. This is stupid. This damn. This is stupid. Uh, on the No Kings protest day, the president of the United States, this government, when people are abiding by the law and conducting a peaceful protest, no violence, no vandalism, nothing. These people are out here protesting, practicing their constitutional rights, and the government of the United States sets the military have the military shoot off munitions out there in California over the protesters. You can't get no more tyrannical than that. I mean, I imagine what that was a show of force and telling people not to practice their constitutional rights and protest against this fucking idiot. That was a threat to protesters. When I was saying that Donald Trump is a tyrant, wants to be a dictator, wants to do away with the norms of this country. I mean, just look at him. Look at him. I mean, even when here in the recent past, I was telling people, I said, look, I'm just guessing, but it don't look like Donald Trump wants to ever leave the White House. When he destroyed the Rose Garden and turned it into a parking lot or a patio or whatever it was, I was like, this man is not trying to leave this fucking White House. And then he started adorning the Oval Office with gold. And now this guy is literally tearing down the White House. I was so shocked. And everybody don't agree with me on this perspective. I was so shocked to see that demolition going on at the White House. That really threw me for a goddamn. That really threw me back. And in part, see, as a black man in this country, I'm torn about how to love this country, how to show that I love America, how to, because it's a love-hate relationship with me as a black man. Now, every American don't feel this way. Some people, like I know brother Joshua, he said, fuck this country, this ain't my country and all that kind of. So you got those people. And then you got people that are very patriotic that embrace the country, and everybody got a right to feel the way they want to feel about this damn country. So whenever you're looking at the White House and what it represents for the seat of government in this country, then like me, I have a love-hate relationship because I know how it was constructed. It wasn't constructed only by white men. My ancestors helped put those fucking bricks in there. Even though it was under duress, that is a part of the history of this country. So in a way, Black Americans contributed to the construction of this White House. Now you can agree or disagree with the way it happened back in the day, but the fact is, it did happen, right? And then as you learn about Black history, you learn about some of the Black architects that and engineers that helped construct Washington D.C. So I know people ain't really close to that type of history, but I am not either. But to see that this guy has taken a bulldozer, a literal bulldozer, and tearing down the White House, I mean, it just kind of touched me some type of way. I was like, well wow. Oh, wow. This is incredible. And one of the things that really kind of got me scratching my head too is all of those people, like the ABCs and the Sarges, that was talking about protecting the monuments and the Confederate generals and not doing away with history. All of those people that showed up at January the 6th to protect the fucking Washington, D.C. All of those people that was talking shit about Michelle Obama when she was trying to hold on and preserve the historical value of the Rose Garden by planting food in the Rose Garden that was given away to charities and having events where children and families could go up there and participate in the Rose Garden. Whenever you're talking about, they was criticizing Barack Obama for wanting to install a basketball court on a tennis court that already existed at the goddamn White House. Where are these people that were so pissed and angry? Where the fuck are y'all when Donald Trump is literally tearing down and bulldozing the fucking White House? I don't hear no anger. I don't hear about how much this guy is destroying the country. This is irreplaceable. Look at this picture on the damn internet. You're not going to put that fucking 200-year-old building back to fucking together. That is not going. It's destroyed forever. The White House is destroyed for fucking ever. And none of these pieces of shit MAGAs got a damn thing to say about it. Oh, I ain't see you with your line there, nobody. What's up, sister? Nobody. You there? Oh, can you hear me? Let me see if I can be heard. Can y'all hear me on YouTube? Oh yeah, I can be heard. Well,
Yes, my bad.
okay, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, go ahead. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, I hear an echo.
Hey, no. The thing I was trying to tell you about YouTube, I wasn't hearing it, but then I found it, so it's fine.
Oh, it's on now.
Yeah. It was well, yeah.
Okay.
I found it. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. That's all.
No problem.
All right.
Appreciate it. All right.
No
Well,
problem.
well. Listen, I'm kind of bothered that this is happening to the White House and there's not a pushback. But if you look at the strategy of how we got here, you can tell it was part of the propaganda machine that mentally prepared people for this. And this is why it's not getting pushed back. These people are so brainwashed. Donald Trump can do whatever the fuck he want to do, and these people are not going to say anything. when he allowed the January 6th rioters to run all over the fucking Capitol, shit in the hallways, break laws, and even go all the way through the court systems and get charged and get served time, and then he pardoned them. These same people that are now looking at the White House be destroyed, they don't have a problem with the White House being destroyed because hell, the Trump let them destroy the fucking building in Washington. When you look at Donald Trump just actually, well, what I'm saying is that he lied. They're so see, if it sounds like I'm confused, I am, because there is a lot that Donald Trump does to program these fucking idiots, and I'm thinking in my head, item by item, what I can continue to name off that Donald Trump indoctrinated these folks with. But I'll just keep it simple and say, since these people put Donald Trump in the White House, he's lied to them. He's systematically taken away benefits. He's fired them. He's caused the economy to go up. He's caused fuel prices to go up, gas prices to go up, and he's causing this country to be at odds with our allies, and everything is going to shit right now. But because these people have been programmed to think that the only enemy is other Americans in the form of Democrats and liberals, that is the enemy. They've been indoctrinated to believe that Democrats, black people, people of color, migrants, liberals, nothing else matters except for make that demographic of people your enemy. So as long as they can go after Democrats and liberals, they don't care what the fuck Donald Trump does. This is how fucking indoctrinated these people are. See, look at what ABC just put in the chat room, because he's a fucking zombie. He said he think that tearing down statues and changing the names of schools and monuments was a bigger deal than fucking running a bulldozer through the middle of the fucking White House. This guy's a fucking idiot. He said a statue and a name change is more important than the seat of this fucking democracy. See that mindset, and I'm glad he wrote it like that, because that's explaining exactly what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter what Donald Trump does. These people will find a way to downplay it. And that's exactly what ABC did as we look at a bulldozer driving through the side of the fucking White House. That's how. And another thing that people like ABC and black Republicans and black MAGA, they ignore racism. They ignore the blatant racism that is handed out by Donald Trump and his ilk. There was another story that came out where there was some more racist text. I showed you guys the racist text that came out from the Young Republicans last week. But there was another story that came out where this guy, let me see if I can find it. Y'all know I don't never be prepared. Oh yeah, here it is. This guy, this story right here is dated the 21st, a couple of days ago. This guy had to withdraw his nomination because he was going to be a member of Donald Trump's staff. In Grassi, this nomination was withdrawn after racist text. The 30-year-old lawyer nominee to lead the Office of Special Counsel was slated to appear before the senators on Thursday. This move comes after Politico reported comments he made in a text chat. Paul Grassi withdrew his nomination to lead the Office of Special Counsel a day after the Politico reported a slew of inflammatory texts he made to the fellow Republicans in a group chat. Now, this is becoming a pattern that we are discovering, that these Republicans sit in these group chats where they think that they're private and they say racist shit. So it's not one off. It's not just the young Republicans. It's all Republicans, like I've been saying, are fucking racist. Okay, so Ingrassi was set to testify before the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee on Thursday, but several Republican senators came out against the 30-year-old lawyer, dooming his bid. I will be withdrawing myself from Thursday, the HSGAC hearing, to lead the Office of Special Counsel because unfortunately I don't have enough Republicans to vote at this time. And Grassi wrote in the post on Truth Social and on X, I appreciate the overwhelming support that I have received throughout this process and will continue to preserve the President Trump and this administration to make America great again. He's no longer being nominated, a White House official said. On Monday, Politico reported that Ingrassi made a number of offensive remarks in a text message chain and said that he had a Nazi streak, according to this text message. So this is what somebody that Donald Trump wants to be in his administration, that sympathize with the fucking Nazis. And when we call y'all fucking fascists, you get offended. When we tell you you're acting like fucking Hitler, and here you have somebody that's a nominee that confesses in a private chat message that he has a Nazi streak, you're going to push back and say, you being a little, that's a little much to be calling people Nazis. No, these motherfuckers are saying it themselves. It's the same thing that was said in the chat last week. I have a Nazi streak, according to the message. His lawyer did not confirm that the text messages were authenticated and said that they could be manipulated or being provided with material context omitted. Ingrassi, who continues to serve the White House liaison, he's still up there in the White House, to the Department of Homeland Security, has also faced sexual harassment investigations into conduct allegations which an Ingrassi lawyer denied. And there we go again with the sexual stuff. If you're not a pervert or a racist, you can't be in the goddamn Trump administration. After he drew scrutiny for his ties to the Holocaust denying Nick Fuentes. We know Nick Fuentes, he is a Holocaust denier, and this guy was fucking tied to Nick Fuentes. And self-describing misogynist Andrew Tate, he's associated with all the terrible people on social media. And Grassi's July nomination hearing was indefinitely delayed. He was added back to the committee and committee schedules last week. On Monday, Politico reported that Ingrassi made a number of offensive remarks in text message chain and said that he has a Nazi streak, according to the messages, discussing civil rights. The civil rights leader, Martin Luther King, he told the group chat in January 24, Martin Luther King was the 1960s George Floyd, and his holiday should be ended and tossed into the seventh circle of hell where it belongs. So here you have Ingrassi, that is a nominee for Donald Trump, that compared Martin Luther King movement to George Floyd. And he's saying that MLK Day should be thrown into the seventh circle of hell. This is a racist. This is who the fuck ABC is in that chat room defending. This is who Sarge defends. I keep telling these people that they see. There's no see. The reason I get on here and talk to Sarge and ABC the way I do, I'm not trying to convince them of anything because it's not going to happen. I don't give a fuck what I say. I don't give a fuck if the sky split open, and they see a fucking miracle. They're always going to support their master because they're fucking coons and house Negroes. You know, they still have that slave mind ingrained in their DNA. They're compromised Negroes. They have not evolved mentally from the ancestors that love to kiss master's ass. They're scared of the white man. There's fear in their makeup when it comes to white people. They're afraid to speak the truth. That's who they are. So I have conversations here with them just for the sake of having conversations, so you guys can hear both sides. Of course, I'm not always right or 100% correct on anything that I say, and I'll be the first to say that. But what I want to do, well, what I'm attempting to do, is allow them to speak their truth. And their truth right here in this format can be an eye opener. It could piss somebody off. It could wake somebody up. You can see the turmoil and the craziness that our community goes through. That's the same reason that I spoke to Christians back in the day. So you can hear what Christianity sounds like compared to somebody that's challenging that doctrine. So the conversation can be here. And the way I think that I have the conversation is like, I just ask general questions, just basic questions, so you can see that whenever it comes to those conversations, there is no sense of logic in their thinking. There is no common sense. There is nothing that they say makes any damn sense. So you can see that. So having said all that, hopefully, if you hear the conversation, the back and forth, people won't be so willing to listen to that other side, because the entire other side don't give a fuck about black people, and they've sucked in these fucking people that wants to come out here and interrupt what I'm saying so they can continue to try to promote the white man's message. And I allow it so it can be heard. So let me go ahead with this. What else did he say? Okay, using an Italian slur for black people, Ingrassi wrote on December 23rd, per the text, no Mongolian holiday. From Kwanzaa to MLK Day to Black History Month to Juneteenth, and then added, every single one needs to be eviscerated. Y'all know me, I don't know my English, so I'm gonna let Google say it for me. Eviscerated, which means disemboweled. He's saying black people need to be eviscerated. Okay. The next month, Ingrassi wrote, a former Indian Republican Vivek Ramaswamy, according to the message, never trust a Chinaman or an Indian. And he added, never. Ramaswamy did not respond. See, Ramaswamy is one of those people with this condition that I'm talking about. Ramaswamy is an Indian. And let me tell y'all something. I know y'all like to go to the gas station and see all these motherfuckers. Indians. These motherfuckers don't like black people. They could be just as dark as us. They can have just as much melanin as us. But these people, the Indians, the majority of them are want to be white, or they say, somebody said white adjacent. The majority of the Indians want to be white adjacent, and that's what you see with Nikki Haley from South Carolina down here. and Vivek Ramaswamy, you see those type of Indians that are fucking coons. And here this guy, I played you the audio where Vivek Ramaswamy um, got told by, was it Laura Ingraham or that other damn lady? One of them damn people that she would never vote for him because he was Indian. And then here this guy is telling you that, Vivek Ramaswamy running around here with his fucking goddamn uh with his fucking coon ass, just kissing the Republicans' ass, kissing the white man's ass, constantly. And they steadily telling this motherfucker, we don't want you here. We don't want you here because you are of color. And this motherfucker is out here just he looks stupid at this point. Okay, so the report led Senator Majority Leader John Thune to tell the reporters on Monday that he hoped the White House would withdraw his nomination, that he's not going to pass. On Tuesday, when asked if it would be a mistake for Ingrassi to appear before the committee, Thune laughed and said, yeah. He also told a reporter that the White House would have something official to say about that. Okay, so I guess they're going on to tell you that this guy is perceived to be too racist for Republicans, which I think is bullshit. I think that if Ingrassi had approached it differently, right, and been a little bit less in your damn face, then these people would go fight tooth and nail to get him fucking nominated. They don't give a fuck about this man being racist. What they care about is the perception that the Republicans embrace this extreme of a racist. That's all they care about. So they don't give a shit about him being racist, to be honest with you. Because hell, he's in the cabinet now. He's working for Trump right now. If they cared about the racists, they would fucking get rid of him altogether. But I brought this up to say that these are the type of people that Sergeant ABC are supporting. The Trump administration came into power, got rid of all black people in Washington in prominent positions, replaced them with white people. And then you see the text messages from the young Republicans saying all kind of racist shit. And then this text here exposes this guy for saying racist shit. You hear Stephen Miller at the funeral of Charlie Kirk literally giving an Adolf Hitler speech. And they don't give a shit. They won. They are the conquerors. So they don't care about what the fuck they're saying. Look, in history, I'm a realist. Whenever you win a battle or a war or conquer someone, it doesn't matter what the native rules are. You're in charge. You've conquered them. So you're going to do whatever the fuck you want to do. That's just human nature. It's a little antiquated, but if you look at history, this is why I'm speaking English. This is why my last name is Tyrant. This is why a lot of them Africans are Christians and Muslims, because they've been conquered. Same thing going on with the European countries. Whenever you get conquered, all of the culture is attacked. Everything is attacked. So in their mind, they've won. So they don't give a shit about what society said about how things supposed to be, because they are the racist conquerors. These races are going to enact racist policies and enact racist culture and normalize hate, because that's what racism is. And you can see that they want society to accept it little bit by little bit. You've seen that whenever the White House showed up at a racist fucking Nazi funeral in Charlie Kirk. They wanted to normalize that fucking racist. I think they posthumously gave him the Medal of Freedom. So they won, and they want to normalize and just get rid of the society and the culture that is against racism. They want to normalize racism. They want to make whenever you think about the woke argument, whenever you think about the DEI argument, whenever you think about the critical race theory argument, right? The critical race theory argument specifically was attacked because they was afraid of little black children being taught in school the actual racist history of this country. So they attacked critical race theory, and they said we shouldn't teach our children. Our children shouldn't be made aware of our actual history. We want to make them comfortable, right? So they started attacking critical race theory. Then they started attacking the books that actually taught you our actual history. And then they started attacking the authors, the black authors that actually spelled out the racist history in this country, right? They started removing them from library shelves and school libraries because they didn't want their white children to feel comfortable. They didn't want their white children to get used to seeing their actual history, right? So now that they've won, they want their white children to be able to go out in their classrooms and call their black classmates a nigger. They want their white children to go out in their classrooms and promote somebody like Charlie Kirk and actually say this is the history of this country. You know, this is part of what's going on in this country. It's not the entire thing, because you got a whole nother side of what's going on when you're looking at the economics. I'm not talking about all of that, because what I'm saying here is just a small part of what's going on. Whenever you're talking about the money, you're talking about Donald Trump stealing money when it comes to manipulating the stock market. You're talking about Donald Trump stealing money. Hell, just this week, this is no fucking lie. Just this week, Donald Trump, let me see if I can find this shit. Donald Trump. Okay, yeah, here it is right here. Donald Trump says the government owes him money because Donald Trump said the government owes him money because he stole documents out of the White House, took them down to Mar-a-Lago, would not return them on numerous requests. And when the government went after the documents and Donald Trump got charged with stealing motherfucking documents, Donald Trump says the government owes him money because of his fucking thievery. And he's going to get the government to pay him, I think it was like $2 billion. Hold on for a minute. Hold on. Trump says the government owes him a lot of money over the federal probe. Here's how he could be paid. President Trump suggested that he's entitled to compensation from the government over the investigation he faced were politically motivated. Now the Department of Justice has extended control over the approved healthy payout in tax dollars. The Republican president comments in the Oval Office Tuesday have put a spotlight on the law through which people can seek damages if they were wronged by the federal government. But the potential that the president might have to take the taxpayer money from the same government he leads has raised numerous ethical questions, especially since Donald Trump has made cutting-edge federal spending top administration policy. So, here it goes. Before reclaiming the White House, Donald Trump filed 2 claims to the Department of Justice seeking $230 million. So he's looking for $230 million because he stole fucking documents. And he's saying that he was wrong whenever he didn't turn the documents back in. See, this is fucking corruption at a level that has never been seen before. And because it's Donald Trump's Department of Justice, Donald Trump may get this money. This is how corrupt this motherfucker is. We all seen Donald Trump with the boxes shoving them into the plane, shoving them into the bathroom, shoving them into the damn pool area, and taking documents and probably selling them to goddamn people, which was against the goddamn law. I went over the laws that Donald Trump was violating on this show, and he broke every goddamn one of them. And that's why they indicted him. The indictment spells out every fucking law that Donald Trump broke. But now that white America and coons like ABC and Sarge have put this corrupt motherfucker in charge, now this motherfucker saying that he was wronged because the government went to go after the documents that he would not return. And now he's saying that the government that he runs owes him $230 million. Now, mind you, we are in a government shutdown. This $230 million is going to come from taxpayers. At the first of the month, people are not going to receive the food benefits and subsidies to keep their fucking families fed. And here you have this motherfucker in the middle of this fucking manufactured shutdown telling the taxpayers to give him $230 million while people are starving in this motherfucking country, while businesses are closing in this damn country. And he's running a bulldozer literally through the middle of the fucking White House. Where was I at? Oh, I was talking about racism. Now, the reason that racism is excused, there was a Morning Joe. Where was it at? Okay, so Morning Joe, I don't like them. I do not like them. But Morning Joe responded to this story that I was just talking about. And I want y'all to listen to Joe Scarborough. And so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what I'm looking for here. So you'll know how racism is allowed to continue in this country. Now, MSNBC is supposed to be a quote unquote left-leaning show. And people on this program is supposed to be anti-Trump and anti-racism, right? And you will be fooled if you wasn't a black person listening to these white people on Morning Joe. This is how racism on the left is allowed to happen. Because everything that they say sounds like it makes good sense, except for if you're black. If you're black, you're going to notice immediately what is wrong with what these fucking people are saying about that text message I just told you about. So I'm going to play this. It's going to take a little while. So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to let y'all hear what these people are saying about this text message. Let me see if I can get it started. I need to get it too, because they're responding to this text message. Okay, so here. Oh, they're responding to the other text message about the young Republicans.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
I'm not going to play the whole thing, so let me get to this part. All right, so let's try to start here.
On social media, some of them end up in the White House, and there's only one response. This is where I worry we're just losing our marbles. If someone says something mean, if someone says something moronic, if someone says something racist, I don't care if it's in your party or the other party, you just say it's wrong. We're intolerant of it. You're fired. You can't be around us. You can't be in a position of public power because you have nonsensical, ludicrous, and immoral views. And you can't just say, oh, look at that Democratic Attorney General over there. He said something even crazier. He did say something that was crazy, and it probably makes him unelectable. But what was said in that text change is equally crazy, equally wrong. And when you don't condone it, it tells this group of kids, this group of men, that it's okay. Like, step back. Why was there a large string of men in their 20s and 30s who went to college, who were in the professional class, who were clearly highly educated, thinking it's okay to praise Nazism? It's okay to say the most hurtful, ludicrous things about their fellow black citizens. It's just wrong, and it doesn't represent the bulk of the Republican Party, I don't think, and doesn't reflect America. And so the only thing you could say is what I would say as an employer. You're fired. You can't say that. I don't care what our rivals are saying. I don't care what other people are saying. It's just plain wrong.
All right, so I'm going to pause it there for a second, because whenever you heard this man say that it doesn't represent society and it doesn't represent the Republican Party, white America is sitting up here listening to this, nodding their head, just like you heard Joe give confirmation in the background saying, no, it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't represent. But that's a lie. And this is where they fuck up at. And this is why, if you black, if you're going to watch Morning Joe, you need to look at it from the angle that I'm talking about it, because it's a lie. We seen the Republican National Committee, the convention, promote racism in their rally just this year. Elon Musk literally did a Nazi salute at their convention. The Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, known racists, were pardoned by Donald Trump. White America didn't say shit. White America didn't say a goddamn thing. The Republican Party didn't say anything when he pardoned the goddamn racists. Stephen Miller is a known fucking racist, a leader in the Republican Party, and you got this idiot sitting on MSNBC that's supposed to be talking to the left, telling us that this country is not fucking racist. It is racist. If you guys are going to give out the news and pussyfoot around what actually is going on, this is how this is allowed to perpetuate. Because now you're getting a pass, not only from the right, you're going to get the pass from the right, but you're getting a pass from the left too, because they're saying, ooh, this really ain't it. This was just a group of kids actually being racist. No, the whole fucking white America, including your fucking dumb ass, is racist. What this is, they got a term for it, and it's a subconscious behavior called microaggressions. Whenever he's accepting racism and not doing it harshly, but his whole framing is an acceptance of racism, and that's a microaggression, because you're being aggressive in your stance and trying to downplay or dismiss the racism in this damn country, but you're being aggressive because you're being fucking racist. So let me play the rest of this audio. I think Morning Joe gonna start. I don't know exactly where to start. I just seen a little clip of this.
It's not even a close call. And by the way, for people who don't watch the show every day, we called, at least I called, for the candidate in Virginia running for Attorney General to drop out of the race, and drop out of the race immediately. I also think Spanberger should demand that he drops out of the race immediately. Because I'm so glad Jim brought that up, because that's an example. Somebody goes, oh, I was just talking. No, who does that? And in what world do you do that? And it's the same thing with these Republicans. Leaders, some in their 20s and 30s, praising Nazism, or in this case, this guy saying he has a Nazi streak and saying horribly racist things. And I just want to say, Jim said we don't live in a racist nation. I can only speak to my experience. I've lived in Georgia, growing up. I lived in Alabama. I lived in Mississippi. I lived in Northwest Florida, which is the Deep South. I have lived the majority of my life in the Deep South. And I will tell you, through elementary school, middle school, high school, college. Perhaps somewhere else in the darkness on the edge of town, there were racists and bigots talking this way. I never once, well, actually, I did one time. I heard one time. One time. But other than this one time, I never heard this sort of talk. I never heard, and I grew up not in a bubble. We lived in a very middle-class family with Southern Baptist churches. I never once heard this kind of talk growing up. This is not normal.
Okay, so he's going to go on there, but I wanted to pause him there because you're looking at a white man naming every southern state, every racist southern state, telling us that he's been there in his childhood, growing up in this country, and this country is not racist because he is from a middle class and he was raised up in this environment and he didn't experience racism in this country. So this is not normal. These text messages that I'm sharing and this message from this guy, he's telling us that it's not normal for this country to talk about wanting to be Nazis and be racist against black people. Morning Joe is telling you because his experience, he didn't experience racism, that the country is not racist. This is the problem with the white culture or society in this country. This is the problem with the white liberal in this country. This is why you cannot trust these people no further than you can throw them, because I don't give a fuck how fucking much you suffered or was in the middle class or what your economic status is as a white person in this country. And let's just take him for his word and say that he didn't experience any of this shit. You are able to live in that bubble and not experience racism. That is part of the fucking privilege that you have as a white person in this country. Listen, when I joined the army, there was so many white people that came up to me and told me this is the first time they ever seen a black person. Now, when my brother joined the army, years before I did, he came home and told me that stuff. He said, Tyrone, you know what? There was some white people in there said they never seen black people before. I was like, boy, you lying. Black people everywhere. But no, it's true. There are some people in this country right now that has never seen a fucking black person. That's because of their numbers and the privilege that white America has to disassociate themselves with black people. I remember telling y'all down before about Myrtle Beach, how they got all of these gated communities and you cannot get back in those communities. And the only people that live back there is white people. And it's possible, even down here in Myrtle Beach, that you have families that never associate with fucking white people. So Morning Joe sees these racist texts from the Republican Party and tell us that this is not representative of this damn country and this country is not racist. And he's going through his experience as a child, growing up in the South, saying that because he has never experienced racism, that somehow or another these people are outliers. But let me let him continue.
Maybe it's been normalized over the past few years, but this is not normal.
A lie.
And I grew up in the deep, deep South. And I'll just say, I've told this story before, I'll say it again, Mika, because it explains the remarkable change that the South went through and how we took great pride at one time in being part of the new South. I was in first grade and Mississippi, 1969, got integrated. That was just a few years after the civil rights killings in Philadelphia, Mississippi, which was just right down the road from where I went to elementary school. We were standing in line, we were about to get lunch, and this young kid said it made a racist slur against a young black girl. I still remember all these years later, a student teacher, she probably went to Mississippi State or Ole Miss and was probably, in her first year at Northeast Elementary School. She went over and she grabbed this kid by the ear and said, well, you might smell too if you didn't have indoor plumbing. And I remember her grabbing his ear, probably couldn't do that today, dragging him out screaming, taking him to the principal's office, and we didn't see him in class again for 3 days.
All right, so I'm gonna pause it there because his little story is fucking racist. He said, they're so fucking blind to fucking racism that he don't realize he just told a fucking racist ass story about his experience with racism. He just said that this little kid said something racist to a little black girl, and he was grabbed by the ear by a teacher, and the teacher looked at him and said, you would smell too if you didn't have indoor plumbing. You don't realize that if that black child did not have racism, it did not have indoor plumbing, it is because of the structures of this racist ass society that put that little black child in that predicament. You don't realize because that black child is in that predicament, she is susceptible to getting treated differently and hate thrown towards her, not due to her own goddamn fault. You don't realize that that teacher that grabbed the child by the ear and said that in front of that damn child, that you would smell too, was embarrassing that racist that child, but that teacher was being racist in front of that damn child. He's telling this story like it gives him some type of credibility on racism. No, it doesn't. It makes you even more fucking racist. Like I said, these microaggressions that these white people are not aware of, they're able to sit up here on TV and say this shit and think that they're in with the crowd. No, your story is racist. You are a racist. The fact that you're ignoring racism in this country and saying that the Republican Party is not racist as you're reading racist text from the Republican Party for the second week in a row and still denying that racism exists in this goddamn party means you're a fucking racist. You're saying that white people are not this way. That's basically what you're saying. You're saying that you're one of the good white folks, and because I ain't this way, the rest of my people ain't this way either. No, you're fucking racist. Let me play the rest of this.
That was the example that was set in first grade. You don't. Even in the midst of the integration fights in 1969 in rural Mississippi, that was the message that was being sent to first grades. No! We live in a new South. We live in a new nation. And that was the message that I received in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Northwest Florida, whether I was in class, whether I was playing baseball, whether I was in the locker room playing football. You just didn't do it. And now for our leaders, they'll be nodding and winking, say, oh, kids will be kids. No, kids won't be kids. Not in this realm. We teach our children better than that. Our children deserve better than that. So just a shrug and say, oh, kids will be kids. They're young. They're in their 20s and their 30s. No, these are far more than youthful indiscretions. This is a lurch back 70 years into a racist past that most Americans, most Republicans, most independents, most Democrats don't want to go back to, Mika.
That's a lie. That is a lie. See right there, that's a lie. Whenever he's saying most Republicans, most Democrats, most independents don't want to go back to, you've got a candidate for Maine that's running for office right now that he's a Democrat. And it was discovered that he has a damn racist tattoo on his chest. He's a Democrat. You have the young Republicans, the Republican Stephen Miller. You have all of these people that are on the right embracing a racist in Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is a known fucking racist. He's invited on platforms and invited to speak at colleges. These colleges house young white people. These people hear the racism that come out of Charlie Kirk's mouth, and they're not appalled by it. This country is fucking racist. You're right. Things are reverting. Things are going backwards. But it's all because of the leadership and your dismissal and the fact that you won't call a fucking racist a racist that allow the perpetuation of racism in this country. Until you sit on your platform on MSNBC and other mainstream networks and call these people what the fuck they are, they're going to continue to do this until there's some type of accountability for racism. This country is going to continue to be racist. I've always said that America is in this predicament because America has never addressed its original fucking sin. And that's what you're allowing is the perpetuation of racism by not calling it what the fuck it is. Now, I know I went on for a while, so I'm going to shut up. But here's my point, is that the racists in this country, they're in charge now. They've won. They've won, and they're tearing down the White House. They literally bulldozing the White House. You don't hear none of these motherfucking people that want to save the damn statues saying a goddamn thing about tearing down that historical fucking building. You don't hear none of them people. You didn't hear none of them say anything when he ripped up the fucking Rose Garden. You don't hear any of them saying anything when he's making a proposal to blow up fucking Mount Rushmore so he can put his fucking face on it. That's not going to happen though, thankfully. I don't think because the rock is so old up there, they're saying that, you know, it's not good for dynamiting. But if it was able to be done, he would put his fucking face on Mount Rushmore. You don't hear none of these motherfucking monument savers that want to save the fucking Confederate fucking racist general statues. You don't hear none of them saying shit about Donald Trump literally driving a bulldozer through the fucking east wing of the fucking White House. Where the fuck are y'all at? Where the fuck is Sarge when they was accusing Barack Obama of wanting to plant a watermelon field in the Rose Garden? Where are they at? This tells you that these people don't give a fuck about these people don't give a fuck about the rule of law in this country. They don't care about the Constitution. The only thing that these people want in this country is white power. That's it. They want to oppress others, and they're willing to sacrifice themselves to suffer. Look at these farmers. Donald Trump fucked these farmers over. I think it's Argentina that he gave money to, and now Argentina is selling their soybeans to fucking China instead of buying them from America. And then this week here is so much news. The beef farmers are getting fucked because Donald Trump is not supporting the beef farmers in this country, and he's gonna buy the fucking beef from Argentina. All of these white people that went to the polls because of their whiteness and trying to get a white man in charge is getting fucked over. So I'm going to shut up and open these lines. Let me see who's this unknown caller.
Maze.
Hey, what's up, Maze? And then let me open. Lisa, I got your line open, and Sister Nobody, I got your line open.
I'm first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm not going to be long anyway. Well, my special black people are just as much bad a problem as they are. Morning Joe didn't say nothing nobody wanted to hear because he was lying about everything that came out of his mouth in the 60s. Mm-hmm. That's how my boy, the little black girl, he probably was one of the ones over there doing the same thing that it probably was him doing what was being said.
But I know it was a lie because he went through like 6 states and said he experienced all this in all 6 states. That was a lie.
But the reason why Tiffany left MSNBC is because of Morning Joe. Because he didn't like the way she was doing when she was talking about her own history. But then you got my special black folks that want to talk about Black Lives Matter. They want to talk about Jasmine Crockett and all this other stuff that had nothing to do with the everyday life of what's going on in it. So you guys, I keep asking them, what has this man done for America? Everything he has done for illegals taking over and doing stuff over here. Not nothing for the people here. And all this gold and stuff that he's sitting around with, Americans are paying for it. He wants his name to be put on that building when he leaves so he can charge for it. Because you know that's what he did in New York. He had his name on stuff where people had to pay for him to put his name on different things. So there's a lot of them out there just like that, like Morning Joe. They don't get to the subject in the real deal. They want you to focus on crime that black people are doing, and then they want you to focus on illegals in a wall. And that's it. Everything else just go downhill. We don't care nothing about the American people. You got the farmers and the meat people, and what's next? Then then they want to put an Air Force base here, and then you had the South Africans come here. And when I look at the what's some people with the masks on their face?
Muslims?
No. The one with the mask on their face that's harassing people.
Oh, ICE.
ICE. I'm saying like now they're putting people in danger because you got nuts out here that dress like the cops and they're not cops. So what about people just like ICE and not ICE, and you get in the car with them and you don't know if you're coming back or where you're going. So they
ICE ain't nothing but the Taliban. That's all ICE is. It's the Taliban. That's what the fuck.
But haven't you seen some people? Tyrant, have you noticed that you've seen some people in another country with those same masks on their face doing the same thing?
Yeah, the Taliban. Yeah, the terrorists, the Taliban. That's it. Yeah.
There was no Taliban. That was over in that's over in Israel. Next time you watch and you see, they're doing the same thing they're doing over here.
Oh, they doing it over there too?
They got masks on their face.
Oh wow!
And that's the second thing that I've seen that was done over there. You know when they had them pictures on the lawn of something that nut the one you was talking about, they did it over here and they did it over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but you have to watch and look at what's going on. But I'm getting sick of my special black people with all this crazy stuff that they be coming out with, and it had nothing to do with their everyday life. And I wish somebody would tell these people to give us some information on what the Republicans are trying to do to help the people in this country.
Nothing.
Because I haven't seen nothing yet.
Nothing. They're not doing nothing.
Except the lie that they keep pulling out every day.
I tell you what they're doing. They're keeping it shut. They're keeping the government shut down, so they can't bring the House back. So they won't vote on the Epstein file. So they're protecting pedophiles.
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
Mhm. So and then they wanted to bring so they could pay the military, but then they had he wouldn't do it because he said he wasn't opening up unless the president told him to. So then they went and got money from the Pentagon to give to them for 1 month. Now what they're gonna do?
Yeah, listen. This country is going to be in a world of hurt if they don't pay out the benefits on the first of the month. People, listen. This is the way it works. The people that get food stamps and benefits, right? That is a payment towards grocery stores, to truck drivers. You have to bring the supplies. You see what I'm saying? So whenever you stop that, I think it was $90 billion that they're going to stop paying out. So whoever bought the food to the place for them people to shop at, the truckers that bought the food to the store, the people that make the product, all of these people are going to be out of income because the government cuts out that damn benefit. But they ain't even thinking about it like that.
But my other point was that if you're looking at this president saying he don't want to do nothing for the blue states, so the blue states pay federal taxes?
Yeah.
So why can't they keep their money in their states and not give it to him? And what would he have to do then?
Well,
he gonna sue us? He's suing us, the American people.
Well, see, I mean, technically you're right, but see, the way the blue states is, they follow the law. Donald Trump don't follow the law. So I believe that you're right. The blue states could say, we're not giving out no damn money. I believe they could do that. But they won't do that because they always trying to do the right thing. Regardless of how wrong they're getting treated, they always trying to do the right thing. And if the blue states did something like that, I would pack my shit up and I would find me a fucking blue state and I would move there. And that's exactly where I would fucking reside. Fuck all these damn...
Until they pay no federal tax at all. Since he won't do anything for you, we don't pay no federal tax and deal with it. But anyway, I still get sick of my special black people talking about a Black Lives Matter and all this different stuff. And these people that got their jobs are trying to tell you something, and you're not listening to what they got to say. It's just a wrecking. So I'm finished, and y'all have a good evening.
All right. Well, I got your line open, Sister Nobody, if you want to say something. But Elisa, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay, Tyrone. How are you guys doing?
What's happening?
Not much happening. You said something a few moments ago about you had people when you first enlisted in the army, and your brother, that that white people who were stationed elsewhere that had never ever seen a black person in person.
Yeah.
My ex-husband told me that. My ex-husband told me that too. So that's true. He said when he was stationed off at other, these bum areas in America, way out in America, he said he had a lot of people that, and on them ships and stuff, and they used to be out to sea. A lot of them said they had never seen a black person until they went in the Navy, and got around other people. And I that was a long time ago, and that was odd. But then after traveling and doing some different things, and other people I know who have traveled for work and stuff, I see how that is. Because a lot of people, because mainly the bulk of black people live in certain states, in certain areas.
Yeah.
So that would seem odd to us. But if you go outside of your comfort zone, you will see that that's not odd. A lot of these states, the black population is down to, some states have like maybe 1%, less than 1% black people. So they've never seen them. That is a true statement that you make, because I've been out of my comfort zone many times to travel. And it was like days before you finally saw another black person. And usually when you passing them, and this is what I've noticed, because this is us, we just nod, everybody, they nod back. So, yeah, it's true though. But that's not an excuse. I don't think there's plenty of people I've never, well, let me think. Probably not, because I live in a metropolitan area. But I'm sure there's some people on this planet that live somewhere that I've never actually seen. I don't think so.
No,
But
you still
there's
got
no
people that
excuse.
never see black people on this planet. If you think about,
Yeah, in the
if you
United
think about,
and many of the states out west and stuff like that, that's not unheard of. But that's not an excuse for the behavior that a lot of them put out. It's not an excuse because you've never seen these people before. So, and I can't say I've never seen a group of people, racist people, a group of people, ethnicity. I can't say that because I live in a metropolitan area. So I don't know, but I'm sure somewhere there's a group, those people that live on those islands outside of India, that was their tribe. I've never seen one of them, maybe.
right?
But that's no excuse for the behavior. Uh, I don't know, Tyrone. We knew it was going to be bad. We were saying that,
Yep.
but we didn't know how bad it was going to be and how bad it's going to get. Like what you and Mace was just speaking on about the blue state. I think it pulling away federal funding. I think it's gonna come. I think it's gonna come to that. I do. I honestly think it's gonna come to that. And if that were to happen, the southern states wouldn't be able to. They would crumble. They wouldn't be able to exist. And I think we might come to that because I was listening to one of the alternative media sources, and they had pulled us some stats, people who keep stats, and they were saying like the New England states, um, up further up north, and New York, just the New England states, and further up north, if they were to do a sedition, just separate from the United States, they would be all right. And some people are saying if they come a little further down from New York to New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland, we could have us a great country. And California, we all know that they have the third or the fourth largest economy. So, I mean, I forget in the world, I forget which number that they sit at. So the country would be no more because the red states wouldn't be able to survive. They would not be able to survive. But the blue states, if they say, well, we're leaving, union. They could survive and be fine. The red states couldn't. So I think it might come to that, is withholding federal taxes
I wish
from
they would do something like that. But Democrats, they're not going to do it because they always want to follow the rules.
I don't know. It depends upon how worse things get and how the more uneasy and the more the people get. They don't have a choice. They might end up with no choice but to do a hard threat to do it, to make them come around. We might come to that. And if we come to that, I'm fine with it. I would suggest everybody, all of y'all who don't go in front of that stuff, to bring y'all asses out them red states to come to the blues.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what is going to happen. Will it remain like that? No. But it might come to that for a brief period of time. And I know someone was saying, well, the politicians can't just decide that on their own. I agree to a certain extent, but all they have to do is hold an emergency election and let the people vote. And I'm sure I know in my state, the vote, it would pass. That's separate. And I'm pretty sure in all the other blue states as well. Because the red states is the problem. They're the problem. As far as like fiscal problems, they suck off more from the government and things like that. And, but a lot of our people are in red states, in the South. So I don't know.
These people getting ready to be hurting around the first. If this government is closed, there's going to be a lot of people that are not getting paychecks and not getting food and all this kind of stuff.
The SNAP benefits, and I see so many people saying, but they need to cut them off, bootstrapping. A couple of videos, I'm not going to say one particular YouTuber made a video about it. And how she did it, she put a complete black face on food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
With the black people complaining, saying the most outrageous. And I think she was trying to help, but what you just did, you put a whole summary together for someone to download your video and use all of that, whether it's TikTokers was coming out. You put a black face on food stamps. That's what you did. Yeah, a lot of our people get snapped. They do. But you put a black face on that when white folks quadruple the amount of people who get food stamps. Yes, and it might be per capita. I don't give a damn. But you put a black face to that. And we have to, and I just, and
that's the way people have been programmed to accuse black people of getting these food stamps when it's like you said, it's white.
But she's black. But she's black. She's black. Very big YouTuber. You would know who I'm talking about if I said the name. You would know.
Mm-hmm.
You would. I'll send it to you in a message. But that's what you did. You made this video, and all of these people are. You basically put the face of food stamps on white folks, and I'm sending it to you now. And you have a huge following. I sent you your name. I don't want to put it out because I don't want people, But
okay.
But I was surprised at her. I was surprised.
Oh yeah.
All of the videos of people. Did you see the video?
I didn't see the video, but I know what you're talking about.
And she had black people talking about, I'm going to go in the store and steal for my kids, and I'm gonna go in it. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna steal. What were you thinking? You put a whole montage together for people to get this stuff and blast it. You see what I'm saying? As if things aren't bad enough as they are. But I think
let me ask you this: what is she saying the solution is? If she's putting it all on black people, or she's saying black people need to come off of them.
No. She wasn't. That's just what she showed. This is what this video is. This is what the people are saying about food stamps and about SNAP being. And so, but all the videos were black people. She didn't have any white people, any of that. So all the videos were black people. And you didn't think when you were putting that together, and she didn't really have solutions, but some hints were you have food banks, you have this, you have that. No, I don't have food banks. When they closed that, Elon Musk shut, I forget which department that does soft, across the world, when they shut, Feeding World and different things like that. All of that was a part of that. They used to donate food and stuff to food banks and school banks and different things like that. That's gone. The food bank said that they're not on zero, but they basically rely on private industry to donate money and donate food. That's basically what they rely on. The government isn't giving food and stuff to the food banks like they used to. So that wasn't a good solution. The food banks are in trouble.
Yeah.
Because when that department was shut down, the food that the government, that Biden and all the different people had set up to give to the food banks in case of emergencies like storms and different things like that, and people in need, a lot of that was cut. That's cut. Because I was looking at some of the pantries, the food banks, the pantries here in our area. It was on one of the local news, and they were asking how were they set up. And this was some time ago after that department was closed. Because that department that does soft power across the globe, and they showed the warehouses that they would store the food and the funding that they get, the stuff that they would get. The warehouses, they said because of this, the warehouses was only like 40% full. The rest of it was bare. They said since that they shut that department down, they don't have the money. They relying on the generosity of the public. So you could put private industry over in that. The generosity of the public to donate. They said what they were getting, where they used to have the food banks and everything stocked and packed, especially during the winter months. Some of them was only like 40%. And the rest of it was empty because they weren't getting any more government funding. So it's really awful.
Yeah, awful. I don't know what people are going to do. I don't know. I hate, and we got a couple more days before the first roll around here.
No, I don't know. It don't look like they're coming. But you know what? A lot of people say they do. I agree. They do need to come together, but the Republicans are not trying to negotiate because Trump told them not to. So they're not going to try to negotiate to come to. But the Democrats don't have a choice. They're trying to save what's left of our medical.
This is not the Democrats' fault.
Medical.
This is not the Democrats' fault
whatsoever. They have no choice.
Yeah.
Because you're killing out everything else. And like I explained, what they're trying to do, they're not wanting to continue funding the Obamacare expansion, because that's not just for Medicaid, that's for just about everybody.
Yeah,
and they
what the Democrats need to be doing is out there steady beating the drum of who caused this and why it's like this. They need to be on message with that thing, because too many people are still associating this shutdown with the Democrats. I think they need to be stronger with their message. And
they are, because all of the pollings and everything because I've seen polls come across, and I think it's something like 80%. No, they vote yes to Republicans, and this is even Republican people, MAGA people. I don't give a damn about them, but Republican people. So the polls are 70, 80, 90%. The polling that they're doing all over, people know it's the Republicans. Their lies, it didn't work. It didn't work. So if you see people saying those, you don't worry with them hardcore MAGAs. I think about the majority of the American people know this is the Republicans. So they did pretty good with the messaging on this. I will give them credit. They did good with the messaging.
Yeah. What do you think about them bulldozing the White House?
Well,
What do you think about
it
them?
looked bad.
Yeah, it kind of touched me a certain way. There, I hated to see that.
Yeah, and I'm not all of this patriotism. It looked bad. It looked bad. It bothered me a little bit, but then I got into a little something with one of those black MAGAs that I said that I'm not going to be friends with, but I still he was always Republican, but he MAGA about it. And have you seen across social media the MAGAs, they got they all get their talking points and what to post. Different presidents who've made changes to the White House over the years. So every time you go on a post about the destruction of the White House, you see all of it. They post those. So this was done, that was done, and they even had the nerve. Michelle Obama had a vegetable garden. Barack Obama extended the basketball court.
But none of that ain't compared to them driving a bulldozer through the East Wing. The changes that the previous people did was subtle. It wasn't. It didn't disrupt the White House like Donald Trump did.
Eisenhower had a good. Eisenhower, one of them. I can't forget which president. He did a pretty good. I'm not gonna say gutting, but the place had needed all new wiring. It had need all new this, all new that. So he went on ahead and went to Congress and got the money and got the approval.
Well,
we really need to do some fix up.
I think that
you're
talking about that time. I think you're talking about the time when the White House really needed to be renovated because of safety hazards.
Yeah, that was way back when. Yeah, as he went to Congress. Congress approved it. They set aside the funds to go ahead and redo the thing. Some other people added this, they added that, they did this, did that. So he started with that. I said, look, they could tear that building down as far as I am concerned. That's just my opinion, Google. But that's not what I'm asking you about. I'm asking you about how are you with that blatant lie that he told, that it wasn't even going to touch the building. It was not going to have anything to do with this original structure. It's going to be next. I said, that's what I'm asking you about. You're okay with the blatant lies. I know you are, because y'all take up everything he said. And then he come back, well, this, that, and this, that. And I said, yeah. And this went on between me and him for about 2-3 days. I said, yeah, but you're still not addressing my initial question in this. Are you okay with that? He just stood in front of the camera, in front of the world, told a blatant lie. And look at what's happening. He never would answer that, because that was a hoop he didn't know how to jump through. And none of them, I've seen other people asking that, okay, tear the White House down. But are you okay with the fact that he just blatantly lied to the world about what it was going to be? And they cannot answer that. They can't find the correct orange hoop to jump through because they don't. They're hypocrites, and they don't intend to wipe that orange foundation from around their lips.
Because everybody was crying about them statues getting torn down and talking about the tradition and the history of America. They don't care about the history when they tearing down the damn White House. They hypocrites. I don't understand them folks.
They're hypocrites. They intend to keep the orange makeup around their mouth. That is just what it is. They can't find a hoop. And no matter how, and I kept on, and a lot of people was watching. Every time he come back, this went on for like a couple of days, I would go, yes. And it was like, yeah, but you won't answer the initial question, the blatant lie. Because, see, if they admit that, they have to admit that, yeah, he be lying about a lot of stuff. He lied about just about everything. But anyway, it looks bad, and the whole world is looking at God. He went in there, he got them all messed up. He even tearing down the people's house. Look, my mind cannot get on their house because there's too many other devastating things. It's just like they're sending money to Argentina. And all that bailout.
That's who the farmers getting screwed over by, right? Argentina.
The farmers and the ranchers is getting screwed over because China is buying soy and sorghum from Argentina and Brazil and different parts of Africa. I'm happy for the Africans that they're able to sell more. They said 20 billion, but I think they ended up saying that they might gonna try to give them another 20 billion more. And what that's about, let me see. What's his name? What is the treasury? They're not bailing Argentina out because Scott Bessent. And that's just what all the alternative media and some of the regular media have reported on it. Different people, and Scott Bessent and different people, rich people, him himself included, they invested money when that dictator was elected over in Argentina. They thought it was just going to be this and that. And what dictator did in Argentina is the same thing they're trying to do here, but it wrecked the country. It wrecked the country completely. So that money, all them billions that they sending over there, is not necessarily to help the Argentinian people. It's to bail out those billionaires. You know that. And those hedge funds, they invested money into the country, and they lost money because the country went to pot because of the dictator, what he was doing. Same thing Trump is trying. And it wrecked, the country is wrecked. So this money is going to bail out hedge funds, billionaires, oligarchs.
But I don't see how.
That's what this is.
I don't see how MAGA can be all right with them sending that amount of money out of the country and not using the money to keep the government open. I mean, I understand what you're saying with the corruption with Argentina and stuff, but why ain't MAGA pushing back on Donald Trump? You know,
some of them are. They are pushing back on it, and like the MAGA farmers that voted for him, and the MAGA ranchers that voted for him. He's trying to prop up that dictator because he's doing the same thing here. And he's, I guess, trying to help them to bail out the receiver and Scott Bessent and his people. They invested money over there. That's what they did. And it's just like, and it's all over. You can read to see why that money is going over there. It's because of that. So, I mean, but the MAGA farmers and the MAGA ranchers, some of them, there are few and far in between I've seen call him out, but the rest of them is saying that it's the system. No, it's not the system. The system before he was in was helping y'all and trying to help y'all get back on your feet from the last time. And y'all had the thing going with China to sell your stuff and you do your thing. Not the system. That stuff was in place. He came in and got rid of it so that these hedge funds and billionaires can buy up all your farms when you go out of business. When you go belly up.
It's going to go down in history that this group of society on the right was the dumbest fucking society that ever existed. Mm-hmm. These people are the dumbest in history.
Evilest too. But more dumb, if the ones that, if you're a billionaire and that was the plan. But if you're not a billionaire, then dumbest is the racism, hate, And white supremacy is expensive. Very expensive. It's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what you choose, that you want to be able to do this, you want to be able to be racist, you want to be able to be hateful. It's expensive, and it might come at you to your own detriment. That's what we're seeing now. I saw someone post earlier today that no war, no other military has come in, and it's destroying America. Racism, white supremacy, and the rich people too. That's part of it.
Yep.
It's destroying America. Well, it was going to. It was always going to destroy this little project they had going on over here, this experiment. It was always going to. We talked about this over here, Tyrone, for years, that this racism and hate was going to be what was going to take the country down. We said that. We've been saying that. It was eventually going to destroy one of the greatest experiments that there ever was, that we know of, recorded history. Let's say recorded history. One of the greatest experiments in recorded history. Hate is going to take it down.
Yeah, and the Supreme Court. I mean, these people. I don't know what could be done about the Supreme Court, but these people need to be called out because the Supreme Court is co-signing everything that Donald Trump is doing.
But you know what? People, when they was on okay, I was talking about this with somebody the other day and my mom the other day about. I said, because we were all. The question was, do you blame Biden for some of this? President Biden, do you blame him for some of this that we're in?
I do.
And first, okay, you do. Good.
Uh-huh.
Okay, at first, a lot of people was like saying, I don't. And that's when, and then in the conversations I were in, I was like, well, why not? Well, because this, that, and the third. And I was like, with all the intelligence that the government, that the president has at his feet, they knew what Trump and them was planning. How come all of us knew for coming up to the year before the campaign season hit hard? How come we all knew? Mm-hmm. How come people was all over the social media and YouTube trying to break down when they discovered Project 2025,
right.
talk about this was the plan, and the covert people, I think it was FBI, did that thing over in Europe with the Heritage Foundation, and they admitted that they're working with this and the plans for America. And we all knew. We all knew it was at your fingertips. Type this in. People were all over the place. We all knew what was going to happen. We didn't know it was going to be this bad, but we knew it was going to be bad. So if we knew as much as what we knew, they knew much. The Biden administration knew much, much more. And they did what? As far as we can tell, as we can see now, nothing.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And it depends on, they knew, because we knew. So if we knew, they knew what we knew and more. And then like the Epstein files, what all is in the Epstein files? Let's just say Orange is all mixed up in there doing what we think he may have been doing with the underage. We don't know this for sure, but what we think, we can only go by his behavior from the past. And Epstein, well, we know what he was doing because he was convicted. He's dead now. And Johnny Maxwell and all of them. And if they knew that man, if they knew all of that on top of the whole Project 2025 with the billionaires and this, that, and they knew that the president knew what was in those Epstein files, the raw guts of it. And they did what about it? Nothing. They know who got what on him, whether Putin and them got dirt on him. They know.
Yeah, that's the way the Democrats do. That's the way the Democrats do. That's the same thing that happened with that Russia investigation with Mueller. Mueller had all the answers, but Mueller never charge Donald Trump. He left it up to Congress, and
Yep.
unfortunately, Congress became Republican, and they never did anything with that Russia investigation. But they knew that there was associations with Russia and Donald Trump, and trying to, help him out win this election, and demonize
Yep.
Hillary Clinton.
They knew.
Yeah,
They
so
knew it all.
but
They
they
knew
don't
what
do
he was
anything. They
doing
don't.
before he was running for president. They knew.
Yeah,
They
it's the
have they have the intelligence. They knew. They had the
yeah,
intelligence all spread out all over the place. They knew.
it's the same
And
thing.
then they also,
Go ahead.
like when people talk about Jeffrey Epstein, this is his conspiracy was part of Mossad, and that Israel and Netanyahu and them, this is all conspiracy, that they got stuff on Trump. Because things came out that they had stuff on Clinton and different things like that. They know all of this, Tyrone. And what
Yeah,
did they do? Nothing. So, yes, I heavily blame Joseph Robinette Biden and his administration for some of this. Yes, I do. I blame him for this. I blame his attorney general. I blame so many of these people, and because they did nothing. They knew what was being planned to turn America into to turn the old America into what it is now. They knew. So yes, I put 60% on Trump and the billionaires and the people who's working around him, and 40% on Joseph Robinette Biden. So I put 40% on them. They did nothing. And when people would say, give those Supreme Court justices term limits, did nothing. Nothing. I would say all the way back to Obama. They knew what of which Americans was doing what overseas in Russia and with Israel. They knew all that stuff then too. They did nothing and sat back and let it happen. I don't know, for some type of duty, or if they felt they had let all this stuff loose, that it would become a national security issue. Let it become a national security issue. They
yeah,
did nothing.
yeah. They never
So
held these
yes.
people accountable. They never hold them
Mm-mm.
accountable.
So
Well,
yes,
you can look at what Donald
absolutely.
Trump doing now. As soon as he got in office, he indicting Letitia James, Schumer, Comey. Donald Trump don't give a shit. So this is what the Democrats should
No.
do: is they should have went on and locked that man up for them damn documents. They should have went on and charged
And
his
put out,
children.
yep.
They should have went on and impeached his ass. They should have did. I mean, it's just crazy how they let him get away with it. And then once he get away with it, he just dig deeper. He don't care.
Put
'Cause he
out
know he can get away
they
with
should
it.
have put out the Epstein files, all of that. But they did, especially since the MAGA Republicans during the campaign, they wanted it because they wanted it to be stuff on just Democrats. I don't care what Democrats go down the drain with that stuff on there. What famous people, what rich people. They should have put it all out.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to get on his attorney general at that time and make them do those go ahead and charge that man for the insurrection, all the other stuff they had on him. And they let New York and Georgia start with the charges and the indictment. But Attorney General Stat did nothing until it got to the point where they knew that by the time that the federal cases that will come up about the insurrection, about the other things that they did trying to steal the election, and all of that was going on, they knew that it was not enough. Because Tyrone, a lot of the alternative media was saying it's not going to be time enough for this. It's not going to be time for them to be able to prosecute and convict. And had that been done, he would have been eligible to run for president.
Yeah.
And the Republicans could have thought they knew, and they did nothing. They let all of this stuff they knew with the states like New York and Georgia going on ahead, and I think some other states was getting ready to jump in there. I thought they let the states start filing their things, and then they're going to go ahead and do. No. They let all of this happen as well. So that's why I said both sides, both parties need to go. But at this point, the only thing we got is the Democratic Party that will help keep the majority of the people in the country alive and give them a little bit of something. That's all we got right now. That's all we got. But both parties need to go straight to hell. I'm sorry, they do.
Well, no, you're right,
They do.
absolutely. But both parties are full of shit. They really are. And the Democrats are weak. When the Republicans understand that they'll just go ahead and go head first, don't matter if it's illegal or not, they'll just go ahead and do what they want to do to accomplish their goals. And that's what they're doing.
And both parties have always looked out for the rich. I blame Obama too. I blame Clinton. I blame both parties. The Republican MAGA party, they get the bulk of the blame, but the Democrats get some too.
Yeah, you're right. Because if you look at that Affordable Care Act, I appreciate Obama for it, but I mean that Affordable Care Act,
well, that's all we had though.
It helps out. It helps out the medical industry. I'll just leave it like that.
Yeah, it helped them out.
Yeah.
But it's so many millions and millions and millions and millions of people were able to get health insurance for the first time. So that's something.
Yeah, but that shit high as hell. That shit high as hell. But it ain't nothing. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever looked at trying to qualify for it?
No.
Yeah,
but I got mine through the state, but it's not that. But when they did the expansion, that was better. They added the expense because he said in the beginning that this isn't the cure-all, but it's a start. And if the country, the administration after him were to build on it, it could be something great. He said that. And when
if they would have improved it over time, then I could see how it could have got better. But that ain't what happened.
He said that from the beginning. This is a start. But no, after he left, but they did add the expansion. And that expansion helped me with the health insurance that I have because I can't be denied any longer because I put over that. So people who have issues, they can no longer be denied. So and it helped to cover even more people to get health insurance. Yes, it's expensive, but for people who can't afford health insurance, this country is too rich.
It is something now. It is something.
For anyone, it's something. It was a start. That's how I looked at it. But it was going to need a lot of work. I think most people can agree upon that. He said it's not going to be perfect. It's going to need work. It's going to need additions. It's going to need subtractions. It's going to need reworking. Then maybe we can get it to something that can be marveled upon. So I give him credit for that. I won't take that away. Something. It was a start.
Yeah. So I don't know what the overall goal is. Do they just want to see people die? Do they want to see people hungry? Do they want to see all this suffering going on in this country?
They want to turn it into what they're turning it into.
Now,
people they want a ruler, they want a dictator, and they want everybody. They just want the public, the overwhelming majority of people, just to work, make money for the rich, and do what they're told. Basically,
I think the reason that they militarized ICE the way they did, for one, I think they wanted something to pop off at the No Kings rally, but they got that military. They've got that military or ICE there for a reason. So if enough people if enough people in this country don't get their money, don't get their food, they're going to be angry, and you're going to see violence. And I think that's the reason that ICE is in place right now. Because they're going to...
Oh, of course. That's why they have such a large budget.
Yeah.
Did you hear? I heard a report of all the things that ICE is buying. All types of ammunition and stuff like warheads, the different things like that. Just in case the people... Because I don't think they know... I think they know they cannot depend on the military to do it. So they needed their own military vouchers. So they needed their own military to do the dirty work because they cannot depend on the military to do it. And it's looking more and more like that every day. as far as the leaders and the generals and the captains and the admirals and all of them in the military, looking like that more and more because they're leaking information to the press, Wall Street Journal,
So
some
let me
of
ask you
these
this:
head up.
is this
Uh-huh.
November? Is the election this November, like next month?
You mean the midterms?
Yeah.
No, it starts with
Oh, I
26.
got a whole nother year. That sucks.
Uh-huh. Not the if we have a midterm, but they're working their way. That's why they're building up ICE, his own Gestapo, his own brown shirt, because they know they can't count on the military to do their dirty work like that. And it's really shown from the things that you can hear, the leaks and stuff coming out from the brass. They can't count on the military to do it. They know they can't. So that's why he wanted to have his own small military. That's what it's about. They can't even count on like the regular local police to do it. They can't count on that. So they had to have their own. Because I was watching in Chicago, ICE was out, they were out in mass, something or other they had going on trying to get somebody, whatever. And the people came out in mass and they were like facing one another. It was like maybe 150 to 100 ICE stations, and that amount of people was out on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chicago police came out. There's a video of it. The Chicago police came out, but maybe a couple dozen, and they walked right through the middle of the conflict so that ICE wouldn't jump on them people because they have already been given their orders. They are not to assist ICE. If there's an arrest or something, like somebody just get out of hand, they can arrest somebody. But they walked straight through the middle, and they stood there, and they turned to the people like, y'all go back, go home, go this, go that. And the police just about had the people, they would get ready to, turn and leave because the police didn't want ICE to hurt them. And the ICE agents, somebody threw an egg or something, and ICE shot off tear gas anyway. They shot tear gas at the people anyway. But because a lot of those ICE agents, they're not trained. It's just any old Yahoo off the street. When they shot the tear gas at the people and the police, the Chicago police dispersed. The people started dispersing. And the wind blew the tear gas back on ICE. And it fogged up their cars and all of this stuff. It blew it right back on them. That's common sense to tell you if the wind is blowing and you shoot tear gas, it's going to blow back on you. And that's what happened. So they know they can't count on the local police. They cannot count on the military not to do what they want to do. They can't count on that. So that's why they have ICE.
That's a sadistic,
putting all that money.
Psychopath. I mean, he literally turned Americans against Americans. This wasn't even a thing before the era of Trump. He's got us hating one another. He got us fighting one another.
Not like this.
Yeah, this is
not like
ridiculous.
this.
This country has never been like this. We've always had our political sides and our racism. I'm gonna say something crazy. Racism alone is better than what we're looking at now. You could always deal with these damn racists.
Yeah, you could call the police, and you could file charges. You could file lawsuits and have them lose their job and all of the things. You could do all of that.
But now you're going
a lot of
against
people
the
were
federal
intimidated not to lose. Yeah, people were intimidated more not to do them things, do some of the things that they were doing. So, but no,
now we going
it
up against the
wasn't like
federal
this.
government. Now you literally fighting the government and all of its fucking power. This is nuts.
It's nuts. It's bad. Awful.
And I think whoever's signing up for ICE to be a fucking member of ICE, you're a piece of shit. ICE is a fucking racist organization, and I mean, these people are terrible people that's signing up for ICE.
But what was ICE supposed? What was ICE in the beginning?
It was to handle immigration, like at the border and stuff.
And they used to do investigation into drug cartels and different things like that. In conjunction, they used to work with the FBI and stuff like that. He's gonna turn them into brown shirts. They own and all the weapons and stuff. What do y'all need all of that to do? All that stuff that they're purchasing for immigration enforcement. Yeah, because he intended to turn them on the people because they know they can't trust the military to do it. And that's what a lot of people was waiting to see. What was it? If the military go along with it, lock, stock, and barrel, we in trouble. But from the looks of it, they're not. They're not going along with it.
Yeah, I seen one video where during the protest, I guess there was a soldier standing out there, and it was a black soldier, and these people was yelling at that soldier, asking him, how could you do this? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And you can see that guy starting to tear up. He didn't really want to be there.
They're not going because if the brass is not really going along with it, it's probably going to be some. It's always some. But if the brass is not going along with this, that's why they leaking information. You can't count on the military. That's why they have their own.
Yeah, the military won't design for this, and this is what we learned in the military is that you weren't supposed to do this. This is not the type of work that the military. This is why we know that Donald Trump and them do not know what they're doing, because they're disgracing the branches of service. They're causing them to do whatever that they're causing them to go against what we was taught in the military as far as what we're supposed to do. And but whenever you get
go ahead.
Whenever you get the orders from the commander in chief, now you're struggling. Are you supposed to follow orders, or are you supposed to do what's right? So I don't think that they'll go along with them either.
But if the commanders in chief aren't going to give you those orders, that's why the president, that's why Trump created his own Gestapo, because they can't fully trust the military. Because a lot of people were saying, yeah, you have some in there who go along. You always got some. That's why he needed his own to be. The FBI's all screwed up. Justice Department screwed up. Everything. The courts is basically the only tool that's really being used to hold some of this back. The courts. It's the only thing. Now, I'll give Biden kudos on this. Before he left out, if people was to see the amount of judges that he was posting, all the federal judges all across this country. I mean, he had beat everybody's record with these judges that they posted all across the country. But with them saying that that's why he did the executive order. He designated Antifa a terrorist organization. That's why he did that, because all Antifa is people who are against fascism. That's all it is.
Yeah, see that, and that's crazy. It's crazy
so
how they
if you are against fascism, then we all Antifa.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's why he did that.
That's crazy how they got people against anti-fascism. That is nuts.
Uh-huh.
And this group Antifa don't exist in the way that they think that they do, but they got
it don't.
They got people demonizing the phrase anti-fascist, which means that you're a fucking fascist. What do you mean you don't want you want to go against Antifa? That's crazy. But you got people.
but that was the purpose, Tyrone, to designate them. And like that man he got rearrested, that man that Trump let loose for threatening Hakeem Jeffries, because he said that he was threatening he's going to kill Hakeem Jeffries because Hakeem Jeffries is a terrorist. And then when they asked some of the Republican politicians, you all have been calling the Democrats terrorists and Antifa and Hamas, this and that. You're calling them that. So, no, you can't. And then, of course, I've never seen anybody, well, yes, I have. Trump lies just effortlessly. Mega Mike Johnson just lies effortlessly. You were calling Hakeem Jeffries and them Antifa and terrorists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's just following orders, that dude. They locked him up, thank God. But that's what you're doing. You're saying all Democrats, and all people who are not MAGA, who don't follow you, we're all Antifa, and Antifa is a terrorist organization. We all support Hamas. We all support this. We support. That's what they labeled everybody who ain't going along as terrorists. You ought to. That's why people needed to pay attention to these executive orders that he was signing, because anybody with a brain knows Antifa is not an organization like that. That's just people who are against. I mean, they probably, the different groups get together. Yeah, we're going to go out, we're going to protest.
No,
They're
I mean,
not
I
an
get where they came
organized
from
organization.
because during the protest there was a group of people that called themselves anti-fascists, and they was running around. They won't do nothing terrible. They won't do no more damage than anybody else. But that's who they made.
But then then you have provocateurs up in that pretending to be Antifa too.
Yeah.
So we're all. If you are against fascism, you're a terrorist.
Yeah, you like you said, I can call myself Antifa all day long. I don't give a fuck. I am anti-fascist.
I'm anti-fascist. So anybody who's anti-fascism is a terrorist. That's what they label. So we're all that now. That's why you had to pay attention to those executive orders that he put out.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a reverse psychology thing to get the right.
Mm-hmm.
It's to get the right to say that they're against anti-fascism. So when somebody try to support anti-fascism, the right is gonna, their brain cells is gonna kick in and say, you're Antifa. It's just stupid. These people over there, they playing so many mind games, and they screw these people over so much that these people don't even realize they're getting played like that.
A lot of stupid people in this country, a lot of ignorance, a lot of unlearned, a lot of people brainwashed, and a lot of people was infested with propaganda and misinformation, and they took it in stone. And once they got the social media and they all are the rich oligarchs. Once they got them on their side, I knew we was toast. When they was talking about what's his name that owns Meta, and when Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk bought Twitter, and now I forget who they said is thinking about trying to buy TikTok.
See, TikTok was the main damn enemy. That's why they were attempting to close it down, because so many people get so much information from TikTok. Some of it is BS, some of it is conspiracy, but a lot of it is true. So they wanted to get a hold of TikTok so they can control the message, and that's what they did with.
So they just about got, and you know who they're going after next? Who they're going after not now, but they're going after not next, but now? Google. YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Listen, to be honest with you, the reason the right is so good on social media, y'all need to think about this right here. The reason that Barack Obama got so popular, was so fast, is because he used Twitter. That's what the hell everybody was all fascinated with Obama was about, because he got on Twitter, and everybody said that that helped his presidency, which it did. But the right seen that. And then they just jumped all over this social media thing, outdid President Obama and his social media participation. Elon Musk bought Twitter because Twitter was another good place to get information, and then they just tore that up. They propagandized Twitter. Mark Zuckerberg sold out, and he's just bending the knee with Facebook and Instagram. And now that TikTok was out there giving all this information, now they're trying to buy TikTok. So they're trying to control all this message. Whenever they're talking about the media is left wing, that is a fucking lie, because all of the heads of these major media outlets are Trump supporters. So all of this left wing media bullshit, that's just not true. And you can look at that.
No, but the media did used to swing a little left, Tyrone.
No, they
used to swing more.
The stories that we seen that we call leaning left probably came from places like ABC and CBS and all that kind of stuff, right? But if you
Yeah,
look, if you
NBC, NBC,
and NBC, but
NBC too.
if you look at who was the leading media outlet, it has always been Fox. If you looked at their numbers beat ABC, CBS, and MSNBC combined. So
No,
they
I know
always.
that. No, I
That's what
know that.
I'm trying
I
to tell
know
you that
that.
they've always had control of the media, and then
No,
we're forgetting about the daytime radio where they broadcast on AM and FM. They control the airways 100% over there. So
no, what
yeah,
I'm,
yeah,
no, what I'm,
you might can say that those hosts or those shows lean left, but soon as you had a show come on with a left leaning thing, you had always somebody come on to try to give the other side, and
no,
you don't have that
no,
on Fox.
I understand I agree to that. Fox was the number one watch media outlet. I agree with you. But to say that they always had the media, that's not true. They always had Fox, even though they were beaten in ratings. But the
No, okay,
majority, that's what I'm
I
saying. But
give you
the
an
other
example.
outlets,
I give you an
okay,
example.
let me finish.
Go ahead, go ahead.
But okay, Fox isn't the. But see, if Fox was the only media outlet, then what you're saying is absolute. It's stone. Because they had the highest ratings. But Fox wasn't the only media outlet. NBC, CBS, NBC, which owns MSNBC. You had CBS. Let me see, NBC, CBS, and ABC. You had all of them, and then you had Fox, and then you had like your CNNs and all of it. They were all affiliates to the main media outlets. Let's just say there's five. There's 4 or 5. Let's say there's 5. Fox was the only one that was very far right. The others were always leaning sort of kind of left. And what I mean by that, they wouldn't just report and print out and out lies. You had the Washington Post, the LA Times, the New York Times. You had all of them. They will report at least a semblance of they will report not the full truth, but a semblance of the truth. They wouldn't just do out and out lies. So they didn't have control of all of the media. They have control of most of the media now. But just because Fox was number one, that don't mean they had them all. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what I'm trying to say is during the time of Keith Olbermann, right? Remember Keith Olbermann? He really went after the damn right. He didn't pull any punches. And Keith Olbermann, I would watch that man all the damn time. I didn't agree with him 100% of the time, but he didn't pull any punches. So that's when MSNBC was leaning to its leftists, right? To my opinion. So whenever Keith Olbermann said something to piss people off, they got rid of Keith Olbermann. And they put somebody in there that was a little bit more softer, and they replaced what Keith Olbermann did. And then MSNBC would always do stuff like that. The latest one I can remember is Tiffany Cross. They got rid of Tiffany Cross because she was a little bit too extreme. So when I say that they was leaning right, they didn't allow their broadcast shows to actually attack Fox News. They never attacked Fox News by name. They never attacked the host over there. Because that's what
none of them did.
Yeah. But if you look at Fox, if you look at Fox in comparison, they'll call them out by name. They'll call out this news station. Fox there's no breaks on Fox when it comes to attacking the other networks. The networks use a softer hand when it comes to attacking the right. And if the people are too harsh, they'll get rid of them.
No, I follow you on that. But to say that they had control of all of the media, no, they had the largest, they had the highest rated media outlet. But the rest of them, I mean, you ever see MSNBC, NBC, ABC, and CBS just report out and out lies before all of this? No. Fox did.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. They didn't have control of all of the media. They're getting there, because CBS, the people who they put ahead of CBS now, and then Bezos who turned, and he owns the Washington Post, which used to be a very respected newspaper. And I don't think the LA Times has fell. The New York Times, they kind of moved center. And some of the most respected newspapers, the Wall Street Journal was always center, and Rupert Murdoch owned that. I'm just talking about some of the bigger outlets. A lot of them have moved center, like the New York Times. And the New York Post was always shit. But the New York Times, the LA Times, the Washington Post, and some of the Tribunes and stuff like that, they have all, because who owns them now? They have all moved center. They've all moved center.
Well, what
Whether
I'm
they were
saying
left,
is all of those papers
center.
you just named, they won't harshly. Well, they used to harshly criticize Trump, but now they kind of do it with kid gloves. They'll call out certain things. They have to.
I'm talking about before they're center now because of who owns them.
I don't call that center. I call that like leaning towards Trump.
No, because they post some truths, and they do come at it because the Washington Post is here where I live. That's the reigning. We have the Washington Post and Washington Times. Washington Post is the reigning newspaper print here, and even though they have Bezos, once he bought it, certain things he wouldn't allow that we know he's changed something and made them put more stuff in the editorial. Washington Post used to be a hard-hitting newspaper that was printing the truth and stuff. But you go back to the days of Watergate and things like that. They used to break and find corruption. They didn't care who. But it's not like that anymore because Bezos has control over that. But because I live here, I see the stories that they still post. You got to go to the editorials and other pages to find them. They're not right. They're not having moved far right. The center now, and they break out articles of things they used to do to find corruption in the government and stuff. Those days is over. That's why I said they're center now. They're mostly controlled, and that's with all the major news outlets. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, and Trump is making sure that he get in there, and he makes sure that he's suing these outlets. He's making sure that he try to get control of them. It's the same thing that happened with Colbert, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel. That he's making sure that he's trying to control the way these messages is, and especially on social media, like you said, Bezos and Amazon, Zuckerberg. And
Zuckerberg,
all of those people that they bend the knee, and they
bend the knee.
They used to report, like Facebook used to report, like it didn't care. It would report all this negative stuff on Donald Trump. All these posts would post up about Donald Trump, especially during the Russia investigation with that letter or whatever. That was all on Facebook. But now they're not going to do stuff like that no more.
They allow it to happen. They still do. They do, but they don't.
I don't see all this negative stuff about Trump like it was.
I do. I still see it. Maybe it's who I'm prescribed to. Mm-hmm. I do. They still let them post it. But what they did was they still let anybody post whatever you want to post. But what they were doing when Trump got kicked out of office and when he was in there, when the right would post propaganda, remember they would put up those things saying, well, this is whatever.
Guidelines, the community guidelines.
And they would post those things under the whatever the stories was to let people know that this has not been vetted or whatever the wording was. Remember, they used to have all that stuff, and people would post stuff that is true propaganda. Those things will come up to let you know this is not verified. This is properly said. This is that. They stopped doing that. So it's the wild, wild west now. They stopped posting those. I used to see all kind of stuff come up, all kind of old propaganda. And when you get ready to click on it to see what these people are talking about, you will get that warning, such and such. They don't do that anymore. That's so it's basically anybody can post anything. I see a lot of stuff tearing Trump up on my timeline. Maybe it's who I'm subscribed to.
And
So
I'll give you
I
another.
see
I'll
a
give you
flip
another
side.
good example. If you look at CNN, and I think Abby Phillips is a smart woman, an intelligent woman. But if you look at that panel that she has every night with that one guy, that one conservative up there, who's a racist. He's a racist.
Uh-huh.
Back in the day, he would not have been allowed to sit up on CNN and spew all this
And do that.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
And when they got rid of Don Lemon and all of that,
yeah.
CNN didn't just go center. CNN went center and tipped right.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
I don't watch
That's what I'm saying
CNN
is
anymore.
happening to everybody. All that's happening to everybody is that they're still allowed the left on there to talk, but they've got to have that extremist, racist somewhere around to counteract whatever the left is saying.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the only thing I was disagreeing with that the right had all of the media pre-Trump and what it does, that I disagree with. They had Fox News. Fox News is not even news.
No,
Those are skits and plays and that's not even news. I just don't know people get. They just say any kind. They just make up any kind of lie, and they put that out there. That's not news. And Rupert Murdoch, when they were being sued when they were being sued by those companies and for all that stuff that went on with the insurrection and those voting machines, they had to pay out damn near $1 billion. They're still paying. And when they got sued, Rupert Murdoch said I forgot what the lawyer said. Nobody in their right mind would believe. Remember when they put out testimonies would believe any of this? That Fox News is just entertainment. They told the truth. It's entertainment. That's not news. So when the people who own it says, who will believe that? Nobody will believe that. Fox News, it's not news. And I'm not talking about the local affiliates, but their main shows. They said it's just entertainment. That's what the lawyer said.
Fox News at all.
Entertainment.
And I believe
and
Donald
they admitted
Trump,
it when they were in court that they're not news.
I believe Donald Trump got rid of PBS, and I don't think PBS leaned one way or another. And
They don't.
But he's attacking them. But they do report truth on PBS, and they're attacking news shows like 60 Minutes. Now, 60 Minutes is not no left-leaning show. 60 Minutes is mainly factual. That's real reporting. That's real journalism. But because they telling the truth, they can't have 60 Minutes stick around telling the damn truth.
No. Anybody that's telling the truth, that's just reporting facts, the factual truth, vetted truth. They don't want them around. They do not want them around. All of that was in Project 225. And when Trump came out talking about fake news and all of that, I remember he first came out because he knew they was going to be pulling up when he was running the first time, that they was going to be pulling up a lot of his stuff that he's done throughout the years. So he just started with the fake news, everything's fake, because they was going to be pulling up his dirt, and they did. They pulled up all when he was running that first time. They weren't pulling up all his dirt, all of the grifting and stealing and corruption he had going on his whole entire career. Just nothing but grifting and stealing and lying. That's what he's done his whole career. All these people, he bankrupted them old casinos and people who was billing these things to him on their money, bankrupt all these companies, didn't pay people, and all of him and his father, the slumlord mess. Them people have been corrupt, and like when they was them sons, those kids of his, when they started that charity organization, and it was some type of cancer research, or whatever it was, I would have to go look that up. And they stole the money. Him and his children, they have been corrupt. Their entire life. That's all they're about is stealing and grifting and lying and corruption. That's what they're all about.
Oh yeah, without a
That's
doubt.
what they've all.
And that this whole media attack, the attack on the media. Years ago, we was talking about Nazi Germany and how Hitler came to power, and that is one of the biggest
Huh?
things that Hitler did was he attacked the media and believe it
Yeah.
or not, the term fake news. You say it in German, but fake news that comes from Nazi Germany.
hmm Most of the stuff Nazi Germany did, they learned from America,
Hmm.
and current administration is pulling from their playbook. So I mean, it's just a back and forth with those two. So yeah, it's just corruption, grifting, stealing, like we have never seen before. I mean, the rich and different powerful always just to steal. They've always done that, steal and grift. But we've never seen anything like this, like what we're seeing. People talk about the second Gilded Age. This is the Gilded Age on steroids. On steroids. So I mean, that's what we're looking at, and how people who don't have enough money to pay their car notes can be championing this on. These people are stealing from you too. And you're championing this on because they said you have permission to be hateful. You have permission to be racist. Okay, that's what I want.
Well,
They're
that's where
stealing
they
from
get them
you
with
too.
that's how they got them with the religion, the evangelicals, and the racism and the xenophobia. That's how they keep and
Yep.
maintain them people on their
That's
side.
hot. And transphobia, homophobia,
Yep.
and the biggest thing of all, that old Southern strategy.
Yep.
And that's why me and my brother was hollering laughing about a month ago. He said when, what was his name? Johnson had said about you give an ignorant broke white man or whatever it was, somebody to look down on, that you ain't got to pick his pocket, he'll give you his money.
Yeah.
And
I
Ronnie
looked that
said
quote
right
up last
there,
week. I'm gonna find it again. Was that Johnson?
yeah, Lyndon Johnson. And like my brother said, see, Lyndon Johnson was talking too much. He wasn't supposed to tell the strategy, but he told the strategy. He probably maybe had a drink or something that day. You know how you get loose to the tongue, and he told the strategy. And he said it'll work. He said you ain't got to. At that point, they'll give you. He was right. Lyndon told the strategy.
Oh yeah, here it is right here. He said, if you convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you picking his pockets. He'll give you somebody to look down on. And he'll empty his pocket for you. So that's the whole strategy that they're using, is that
That's just
these
that was the
low
Southern strategy.
buck teeth, these low buck teeth redneck MAGAs, they keep telling them that they better than Kamala Harris or Jasmine Crockett. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's the most ignorant person in Congress, and she's the lowest white person, and they keep telling her that she's better than Jasmine Crockett. And she don't care. Yeah,
who is highly educated in degrees.
Yep.
And that other Bogert, I think all of them, then one of them had dropped out of high school or something.
Yeah, Lauren
and
Boebert.
Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
And Charlie Kirk, who was a college dropout. And he had the nerve. He ran down the black female Justice Ketanji and Michelle Obama and Kamala Harris about how they don't this, they don't that, this, that, they don't have this or that. So, and a person had really, it was a clapback that went at him. These women are highly degreed, highly professional, the jobs and things that they earned because of the education and their intelligence. And you sit up here talking, and these people will wipe the floor with you with intelligence and skill, and you running them down. So it's the same thing. You give them somebody to look down on, even the highest of the high, the most intelligent of the most intelligent black person. They'll give you their money. They'll give you their allegiance. Yep. If you give them the best of the best. So was Lyndon not telling the truth? He told
he was just stating a fact of life with white racists. That's exactly how it works,
And he just told the truth.
Yeah,
and I think Lyndon had a drink. I think he had a drink that day. And he got loose with the tongue. He wasn't supposed to tell it.
I'm pretty sure that what he said was evident of the day, and people knew this already. But being that he was the president or whatever, it was kind of like a shocker coming from him. But he was just speaking the truth. That's the truth.
He was speaking the truth, and it works. At 150 years from now, it will still work. It will still work 150 years from now. You give them same people somebody. You could take a black, the next black whomever. Put somebody in that of the highly intelligent. You could put a savant, a genius, and you tell a buck-toothed raggedy pickup driving somebody living in Appalachia that they are better than him. They will give you their land, guns, dogs, gravy, biscuits. They give it all to you. They just give it to you.
Yeah, that's the same thing. That's the same thing that happened to the farmers. They gave the farmers somebody to look down on, the migrants and the black people. And the farmers
and the black farmers they look down on them.
And now they picking the farmers' pockets because the farmers thought that they had somebody to look down on. It's just true. These damn white people.
It's just true.
As long as they got somebody to look down on, it could be the lowest
white man.
As long as he got somebody to look down on, you can pick. They can pick their pockets. They don't give a shit.
They don't pick their pockets. They give it to you.
Yeah,
hey, you have my allegiance. Because how dare Charlie Kirk sit up there and run down these highly degreed women that has done so much more than his when he was alive, that has done so much more than he could ever possibly do as far as intelligence and career. What they built was a hate. They built all their things out of hate. And you could get pretty far with hate. If you see how far he got, and you sit up running these people down who put all their energy and their blood, sweat, and tears in learning and in study. And you, who didn't even finish college, questioning someone else, yeah, that's Lyndon Johnson right there. That's Lyndon Johnson. And who was that they said called Jasmine Crockett? Ivana, one of them ghetto trash or something?
That was Laura Loomer. I still couldn't find. That was Laura Loomer.
No,
she was the damn ghetto trash.
No, because I kept seeing online. No, I think it is that Ivanka. Which one of them?
It was Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer made a tweet calling Jasmine Crockett ghetto trash.
Ivanka Trump. Somebody called. What one of my people was saying? Ivanka Trump called. Let me see, Jasmine. Let me see. Because I kept seeing that, but I couldn't find where she said that. Recent, of course. Okay, so I didn't think she would say that because everybody was posting. Because I'm on Google, and because they would say that Ivanka Trump called her ghetto trash. And unless Google's lying, it says recent searches of reports confirm that Ivanka Trump has not called a person named Jasmine. A query based on, let me see, Jasmine Crockett, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that didn't sound ghetto trash, even though she's aggressive too. did Ivanka call? Did Ivanka Trump call Jasmine Crockett ghetto trash? Because I couldn't find it. Yeah, they're saying it was a baseless rumor because she probably think it, but I just couldn't see. I don't see her coming out because she don't get into the fray and the mix like that. But yeah, Laura Loomer, what's that old other the Neanderthal? Uh,
Marjorie
uh,
Taylor Greene.
yeah, uh-huh. They had, said things like that. But I didn't think that Ivanka Trump, well, I knew Laura Loomer did that. Laura Loomer, I mean, look at that woman. Anyway, I knew she did. But it was going all over Facebook that Ivanka Trump had said it as well. That's why let me go on to the fact check to see. No, she didn't. I didn't think that never rang true to me. But Laura Loomer, oh, I knew she did.
Yeah, I
I know
mean,
she. Them people did.
these people, I mean, they augment themselves, get these facelifts and these lips puffed up and all this kind of BS. And Jasmine Crockett is just natural. She don't have to do all that stuff. She's going to grow old gracefully. But these people are fake. They put in this stuff in their face and these hair colors and all this kind of shit. And they ghetto. The reason that they call other people ghetto is because they're ghetto. This woman is just as ghetto, just as nasty. I don't. All of them are. Look at the Department of Homeland Security, Christine Nome, with all her fake up face makeup, her facelifts and all that kind of crap.
Well, all of them. It seems like all of the women that's there within the Trump administration of that. It's just all of them look like him. You notice?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what's that? What's that?
All of them get facelift. All of them got plastic surgery. Even the press secretary.
And got their face stretched and
Yeah.
their lips blown up. And what's that little guy from, what's that, I can't think of the name of that movie. And he's like a little clown, Jigsaw. You know who Jigsaw is?
Oh yeah. What was the name of that movie? It was a horror movie, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. Just type in horror movie Jigsaw. And what's the name of that movie? But she looks like Jigsaw. Type in Laura Loomer and Jigsaw and pull it up on the screen. She do. She look like Jigsaw.
She do look like that person. I remember they were putting it on TikTok, and I swear she looked just like Jigsaw. That's crazy.
What was the name of that movie? Is it called Jigsaw 2007. She do. She look like Jigsaw. But where did he start?
Well, that was the name of the movie, Jigsaw. That was the name
Jigsaw,
of the movie.
Yeah. Don't she look like Jigsaw?
She do look like Jigsaw.
I wonder those cheeks are real or does she have implants in them?
No,
all of
that stuff is fake because you can find pictures.
That's the cheeks. Her cheeks.
You can find before and after pictures.
Oh, really? She must have had cheek implants. Because that's what, if she was to take some of them cheek implants out, I'm typing in Laura Loomer before plastic surgery.
Okay, so here's one. Well, let me see. Well, there she goes. She looked like a completely different person.
Yeah, her nose was a hot mess. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at. Her nose was she had a lot of work done.
All of them people that work for Washington, all of them people that work for Washington, they get all this work done.
They had. She had a lot.
She's like a completely different person.
Different person. I never knew that. And then with her lips all big, and she had cheekbones. Okay, I'm looking at her. She had good cheekbones, but looked like she had some implants put in. She had her nose done. She had her lips puffed up, and looked like she had
I don't know why all them women, even Trump daughter-in-law, whatever happened to that Fox lady, Melissa Guilford? She had all that shit done. Caroline Levitt,
All of them, they
she
all
had
had
it
a
done.
lot of work done. Because that's one thing with white women get all that work done when they don't. Let me give you this. Hold on. I can't get this picture. I can't because I want you to see this picture. I gotta get it out of my. I want you to put this one up. She looked crazy.
See, here's Caroline Levitt.
Copy.
Let me see.
And I don't like to talk about people's looks.
Later for them people.
I just sent you.
I don't care about these people. These
Yeah,
people are racist.
and who's the head of the department? What's her name? She had a lot of work done.
Christine Nome.
Christy. Now I just sent you a picture. Now this is a better representation of it. Laura Loomer was really young in this picture. Click on that one in the middle, Tyrone. One with her face real red. They all had a lot of work done. And then post that one that I just sent you of Laura Loomer.
Oh, that's scary. How do I zoom in? I guess I got to download it.
Mm, I mean, they had a lot of work done. They're like all of them had a bunch of work done. All the women up in there had work done. You know who doesn't look like she had the Attorney General. She doesn't look like she had a lot done, but she probably did.
She probably has.
You think so? What's her name? Let me look up.
Pam Bondi. She probably did.
Yeah, Pam Bondi. Let me look. Let me look. Yeah, she has some work done, but hers isn't as drastic. She lost a good bit of weight because she used to be kind of thick back in the day. Yeah, that's a big change right there.
Yeah, her lips is all fucked.
Yeah.
I don't. White women talk about black features all the time, and they go get their lips exploded. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I found one of Pam Bondi, and this hasn't been manipulated. She's had oh wait a minute, I gotta download it. I think you gotta download, save to photos, go into photos. Here it is. She's had a lot of work done too.
All of them has. Yeah, Pam Bondi been. She done had that work done.
Come on, what about this cancel? I can't. Yeah, that's the one I was gonna send you. You got it. She lost a lot of weight from back in the day. I don't speak on people's weight, but yeah, she lost a lot of weight. She had some work done too. But it looks like she lost a lot of weight from how she was in the past. She lost a lot of weight. Looked like she had that nose fixed. And yeah, looked like she had a facelift and her cheeks pushed up. So I didn't know. I don't follow any of these people, so I didn't know because when I typed in Pam Bondi before, then it said weight loss. And I was like, I didn't know what she looked like from before. And looked like she had some work done on her face too. Hers isn't as drastic. I will give her that. Hers is, but Laura Loomer, some of them others is a hot mess.
Yeah, like Christine Nome, she done changed her whole damn shit. She look like a
Yeah,
completely.
she had a lot of work done too.
She look like a completely. They call it Mar-a-Lago face. That's funny.
Yeah, Yeah, she
all over
had
her
work
face.
done too. So they all got a glow up. They got a glow up, all of them. And I don't talk about women's looks because I am a woman. I don't like to talk about people's weight because that's a thing that people struggle with their entire life. So, but yeah, she got a glow up too. She had her cheeks done and all of the
Yeah,
things.
her eyes look different too. Her eyes, I don't know what happened to her eyes,
hmm
but
But at least she didn't blow up her lips extra big,
well, she
like
blew them up.
a
She,
lot, like because a lot of those women, white Caucasian women, then when they get their lips blown up, it doesn't fit their face. A lot of them, some of them it do, but like one of the Kardashian girls, she had her lips, she had them thin lips, she had hers blown up. It fit her face, but a lot of them it don't fit their face when they get their lips blown up, look like pillows.
yep. I don't get it.
But that's a freak show. That's who's running the country, a complete freak show. Uh, Plastic surgery, the women is just, I mean, but I tell you, one of the most beautiful women that Trump had in his first administration, and you got to admit, was, what's her name? She was gorgeous woman, still is.
Who?
Uh, that Trump had in his first administration. Uh, gorgeous. She fell out with him, Omarosa.
Oh, Omarosa. She did she have work done?
No, she always looked like that. Omarosa, and she got a glam up as far as a stylist, a makeup artist, and people to do her, her. But no, Omarosa had always looked like that. Now that was one of the most beautiful women he's ever had in his administration. Omarosa always looked like that. Let me make sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't see
probably,
nothing on her with no facelift.
Omarosa always looked at. She always looked the same. Because if you go back to her history, back when she was real young, a teenager, she always looked like that.
Yeah, it looked like she got some, I don't know, Botox or whatever, but that's not no facelift.
Who? Omarosa?
Yeah, but people always get Botox. That ain't like no invasive
I don't know if she
thing.
got. Well, you remember Omarosa's black, and
No,
black
I'm
people
just
don't need Botox like that.
no, they don't. But I'm just looking. I'm just reading what the AI is saying. It said Omarosa is not directly associated with a facelift in the sense of surgical procedures. However, she has cosmetic clinics in the UK and various non-surgical facelifts, skin rejuvenation
Botox.
treatments, yeah, stuff like that. So that ain't
Yeah.
nothing but a shot, eyelid or whatever. That ain't nothing, and it ain't last. It ain't long lasting. Now people can get
Mm-mm.
carried away with Botox. They just keep doing it, but I don't think she doing that.
Mm-mm.
She
So,
don't.
but
She don't need to, cause I mean her face just naturally look like that. Look like.
mhm. That's just her natural look. Cause her pictures when she was a teenager and stuff like that. Nah, she always looked like that. And I see a picture of her back when she met Bill Clinton back in the day, and when he was president. This that. And she was very very young. She always looked the same.
Yep, she didn't have the Mar-a-Lago face.
No.
I don't know, Elisa. I don't know where this country is headed to. They tearing down the White House. They got the
They
military
stand
in the
down.
street. This place is.
Mhm.
I don't know what's going to happen.
And every day the news gets worse and worse, and they're killing, in my opinion, fishermen out in the Caribbean, and just getting worse and worse and worse. But I do think we will have an end. If we not a complete end, but a lot of the absolute horror, I think we will get an end to that. I do. I know you don't think so, but I do.
Yeah, you just disappointed me tonight. I was thinking the midterms were next month. I ain't know I got to wait a whole nother year. That's how bad I want this
You
shit to
thought
get
it was
away.
next month? Everybody was saying next year, the midterms next year.
It is next year, but I was hoping it would be next
Yeah,
month.
next year. No, the midterms is next year. Now there's a lot of elections that are coming up, but the midterms is, we kept saying next year. The
Yeah,
midterm, we're almost into next year. We're already October, nearing the end of October.
I'm
So the
just
midterms, and
I'm
it's,
just ready for something to change, and I guess I was being a little antsy there, hoping that it was sooner. But I guess we
yeah,
still got to wait another damn year. These people gonna ruin this country by the time midterms roll around here.
it's it's already ruined. America we once knew, that's over. We have to rebuild and reframe a new one. That's what's gonna happen. That's why I said both parties need to go.
I
But
just
right
hope,
now,
I hope if the Democrats take charge that they don't do that whole capitulating like they normally do, and they just need to go
time
in
to
there
come
and
together.
yeah,
Yeah, I know what you said. We need to heal,
yeah,
so we shouldn't just. No, no, no. That's what happened when Trump got kicked out the last time. We need to heal, and we don't know. But you know what? I don't think they would be able to get away with that, because the people they're gonna want people punished.
Well, you looking at
Because too
the
much
Hakeem Jeffrey and the Schumer. Schumer is turning out to be one of the weakest leaders. I can't believe this guy. He used to talk with a whole lot of spunk, but now he just weak. Jeffrey's looking weak. What the other guy named? They all looking weak now.
all of them weak. They done took too much. They done took too much money from APAC. That's part of their problem. That's why certain things they don't say and do. They done took too much money from APAC. And where Nancy Pelosi? Where is she?
She's still walking around. I seen her the other day, but she just there. That's
Yeah,
another
she's just
weak
dead.
one.
And it's another week. All of them are. We just finally got one of our shadow delegates, Eleanor. Well, not we. I'm in Maryland, but I still say we because I'm part of the DMV. Eleanor Holmes Thornton. I can't think of what that black politician. She called for her to step down, and to go ahead and step down, because she's like, Eleanor Holmes Norton is like, oh my God. But because DC don't have true representation, that's why they call them shadows. Eleanor, she's like Congress. DC's Congress, they have two delegates. There's two shadow delegates, and she is one. Oh,
Well, they were talking about the guy that was running against Murkowski. He had a racist tattoo on his chest. Um,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. The DC's American politician. She's a congressional delegate to the U.S. House of Representatives, but she's a shadow delegate because DC don't have full representation, so they just allow them to be there to shadow
Hmm.
what's going on. They could give a little input, but that's all they are. She's been there since. Oh my God! She's represented the District of Columbia since 1991. She is 88 years old.
Well, she need to go somewhere. She too
Yeah,
old.
and the reason asked her to, she's not resigning. But what I can't think of what that asked her, she was right to do this. And a lot of people, Donna Brazile, you familiar with Donna Brazile?
Yeah. She cheated for Hillary Clinton, supposedly.
Yeah, Donna Brazile finally stepped up and asked Eleanor Holmes Norton to finally let this be it. So when they have the election, so even though it's just a shadow delegate, to allow someone else, because they need somebody else and they're younger, stronger, and can fight, because we have a battle cut out. Even though you're just a shadow, you still need they need somebody with a little bit. 88 years old, that's too old to still be in the thing. So she agreed when Donna Brazile asked her to step down. They said because they need some fresh blood up in there. You did your thing. You can stay. You can be someone to help to mentor the next person coming in, because you want got the Rolodex and the people.
Well,
So to mentor,
that's
but
the
we need some
problem.
fighters up in there.
That's the problem. At 88, that lady should have been decades ago retired at home doing something, living her life. She shouldn't still be in politics. That's a problem.
Relaxing, enjoying your family, doing something. So she said, I'm going to. And a lot of people in the area was a little mad at Donna Brazile, but I was not upset with her. I think it was the right move to call. We got to get some fresh blood up in here, some people that's going to be ready to do this battle that we have going on right now.
Up. Look at what happened with Biden. Look at what happened with Trump. Trump is senile. There's something going on with his mental, and it's due to his age.
Very much so.
Yeah, they
very much so. Very much so. So it's time. It's Schumer. I would like to see Hakeem go someplace and sit down. He's young, but I would like to see him go somewhere and sit down. A lot of them needed. Some of those people up in there that's like somebody on the Republican side is like 90. I mean, come on. It's time for and that's silent. Donna Brazile and I'm sorry. Some of those people, they're part of the silent majority. Boomers are the ones that people need to say y'all need to start stepping down and get the Gen X. Let them run things down. Time for the Gen X to take this over. Then you have the millennials. You still got people who part of the silent minority still up in holding these offices. And remember, some congresswoman was dead. Remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
No, she was in a retirement home, and all of her senses was gone. Some white woman, and she hadn't been on the store, her office. Most of the people weren't. The people from who worked for her office, they were still showing up answering the phone, and I think some of them should have been prosecuted. They knew that woman was put away because she had advanced dementia, and I remember that went on for months. And nothing was said.
They get old, I mean, like their late 60s, they need to go ahead and start heading out the door. They just need to start.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Time.
When they get to that late 60s,
and that's stretching it down.
All those people should be moving out, allowing the Gen Xers who's in they late 40s up in their 50s.
Yeah,
they are the ones that need to be stepping in. Gen Xers. Take them seats. It really is that simple. They need, and Biden had no business.
No.
I mean, everybody was mad, and I mean, they got mad at me over here when I was saying Biden he shouldn't run again. And man, so the people got upset with me for saying that, but that is just how I felt. I'm not saying that he's a smart man. He's been in politics. He knows the ways and how to get around Washington. That's what he's always done. But it's time for him to. He can still mentor. They can still give advice and things like that.
Yeah.
And at this time when Trump was, I wanted Bernie. Now Bernie, I would never say that about him. I don't know what's going on. What Bernie?
Well,
what vitamin is Bernie taking?
He won't get elected because he's a Jew, and this country is racist. Okay, let me see who this
is.
But
I'm saying, go ahead.
Who's this caller?
Yo, man, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, ABC?
Hey, so you've been doing your pro left wing, pro Democrat, Republicans are racist shtick.
Okay.
Uh, and it just gets me, man. You act like all this stuff just happened Tyrone, once Trump came in office. And, you can go, all of them been doing the shit, but what's his name? Biden laid the place. He put out the table, the adorned, the dinette set. He set everything up for this with all those damn illegals and all the rest of the stuff, mandating vaccines, all this crazy shit. And it's just crazy. You sound like, hey, he came in, he the worst person ever, evil, like it's the end of the world and shit. And look, I don't like that he's got these. I don't mind the ICE agents going out and getting it, but it's too many of these military that starting to go out to the city, so I ain't really down for that. And I definitely don't like. My big thing is this Jews thing, Israel. And I heard you talk about that some. They running the government. They done taken over and shit. So there's a number of things that I can hit them on, but as far as managing the government, yeah, stuff like putting the military out there ain't cool.
You think he's
But
doing good now?
I think he's doing all right with the economy. I think he's going after crime and shit, which we need that to happen. He got rid of all that LGBT bullshit. I ain't saying he got it's gone, but
Okay, so
he
let me.
stopped the government from promoting it.
You really think that he's doing okay by the economy?
Yeah, pull up the check out the inflation. I checked the chart today, and the shit is the same as it's been. I mean, it's like 3%. It was under 3%, and I think September is 2.9, and they estimating that for October it's gonna come out around 3 or 3.1.
See, this is what I'm saying about you. You are clearly slow. I mean, you got to be the slowest person on the planet. Listen to me. You cannot say that the economy is doing fine when the federal government is shut the fuck down. You see, you're blind. If the federal government is shut down, ABC, the economy is not doing fine. Can we agree on that?
No.
Okay, so you telling me that the government not running don't have an effect on the economy?
Well, I ain't saying it's not gonna have an effect on it. I'm just saying up to now, things are just going along. They've improved some things have stabilized compared to what was Biden's doing.
Are you listening to what you're saying?
Okay, so hold on, real quick. You told me when Biden was in office, and I was saying, man, this dude is ruining this shit. This is screwing everything up, and the economy's all messed up. Bidenomics, all shit. You told me, hey, the stock market is up, nigga. Don't you know the stock market? You kept yelling about the stock market. What's the stock market doing now? And then it's as far as inflation, compare that to what it was when Biden was in there. What is it now compared to when Biden was in there? And what I'm saying is that I ain't saying everything is great or, hey, everything's good, so we ain't got to worry about nothing. I ain't talking like that. But I'm saying the shit is stabilized, man. The issue is he's bringing too many of these military out into the cities, and that shit ain't cool. But, these fucking Antifa, I heard y'all rambling about that shit for about 2 hours. But those nutcases out there, those white liberals protesting and doing this crazy shit, is giving him the reason to bring out more police. Because it's like, okay, these crazy motherfuckers, we gonna bring the police and the military and all this kind of shit. So it's all just chaos. But as far as the government, the economy, the stabilization, no more that LGBT bullshit being promoted through the government. He wrote an executive order. There's only 2 sexes, damn it. All of that kind of stuff. So, I ain't happy about everything, but the shit ain't worse than it was under Biden. And y'all ain't say shit. You was defending the shit back then.
ABC,
so I'm saying y'all crazy, man.
So many
y'all
people,
just crazy.
So many people have lost their jobs up under Donald Trump since he's been in office. Black unemployment done is shot through the motherfucking roof. Unemployment overall has shot through the goddamn roof.
Tyrone.
Y'all trying to think. He's trying to think of something to come back with.
No, I'm not trying to think. I'm stating. Uh-oh, can you hear me? Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Tyrone?
Hold on. What the hell? Can you hear me? Oh Lord, my phone didn't drop. Hold on.
This service is provided in high definition by freeconferencecallhd.com. There are 9 participants in the conference. Q&A session has started. The recording has started.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so ABC's a dummy. Unemployment has done a shot through the roof. Black unemployment done a shot through the damn roof. Um, Donald Trump has fired more people than,
Compare the numbers. What percent is unemployment compared to what it was before?
but Donald Trump has fired. He shut the government down, and he's firing all of these people. You can't say that he's got a good economy when the government is shut the fuck down. The military is barely receiving their damn pay. There ain't no government workers getting paid. I don't know what you mean when you say the economy is good. The only thing that I hear from
How
you,
many times the government been shut down?
what's your point?
But the point is that just because government shut down don't mean that the economy is screwed up. That shit shuts down
That's
every
exactly
couple of
what the
years or
hell that
so.
means.
It don't mean that they negotiate, and if they keep it down for a very long time, it's going to start to impact it a lot. But you know, is what the longest time is longer than it's been now. If we coming close to it. I'm just saying, you know, doom and gloom, the sky's falling, and you're doing that shit because you're a partisan, man. You're a leftist.
Okay, so no, I'm not. Um, you know what? I'm not even gonna do this. And you need to do it. All you gotta do is say it's government shutdown, bad for the economy. Um, and the results is endless. So there's so many ways that the government being shut down is bad for the economy, ABC. And if you don't understand that that is a sign of a bad economy, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Because the first thing you're screaming is the economy is good and he got rid of the trans. Those two things don't have nothing to do with each other. You just so full of talking points that you want to promote what the hell the talking points is and not even look at the realization of what's going on in this country. Donald Trump literally
Hey, Tyrone,
drove a
I'm listening.
bulldozer through the fucking White House. And
Hey, look, I'm sorry, I got to get off the phone. I'm gonna listen, but I just want to say you just screwed something up. You said, "Is it bad for the economy?" I can accept that. Is it bad for the economy? Well, if it goes on long enough. But what you asked me originally, we were debating whether or not the economy was good or bad right now, and I said it's pretty good. It's stabilized,
this can't be
and that's what
good
we
if
were arguing. So you switched the argument.
okay, it can't be good if the government is shut down, ABC. That's my point. You can't have a good economy with a closed government. And damn it, y'all look at the damn the Google results for yourself, and y'all can read all of this motherfucking shit right here. ABC is a damn brainwashed idiot that wants to come on here and stop the talking about the racist Republicans, stop the talking about how bad of administration Trump is, and somehow or another be anti black talking points. I don't know why you do that, but yeah, the economy the economy sucks right now. I don't know. See, this is what I'm saying, Elisa. Is Donald Trump got supporters like this that is blindly supporting him no matter what, and there's no facts that you can present to somebody like that to show them that they're wrong, and he's gonna have thousands of people supporting him just like that blindly. I don't know what the fuck a stabilized economy is when the government is shut down. It's not stabilized. I don't get that. Whew. All right. You still there, Lisa?
What it is, what it is. Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All right.
Well, I know a lot of the growth that the country has had recently, it's all AI. It's with all its investments and overbloating of AI. And if the bottom falls out of that, we're in the bottom will, because I think these people are old. A lot of them, they're over exaggerating what they're going to be able to get that to do. That is a truth. Black unemployment is surging right now.
Yeah.
And prices are higher for everything because we're paying more for things right now. And there's always an and. Our medical infrastructure is getting ready to be torn apart. And we're bailing out other countries of our farmer situation, the rancher situation, and housing prices is overinflated and all screwed up right now. We have no more soft power around the world. And what's going to happen? They expect the recession is going to come in. I do. I think so. When the bubble bursts, it's like everybody think, oh, we're riding. Everything seems to be stable right now. We're setting ourselves up for the biggest fall ever. That's what's going to happen. And people support this when you know that man lies 24/7. They're supporting the rich. And I guess the fact that black unemployment is surging right now, and that the job market is abysmal right now. Oh, but we're fine. We're doing good. Okay. See, I'm not going to debate this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because everybody see what's going on. So most people
it's useless to
see
debate
what's
it.
going on.
It's useless to debate it. I just wanted to hear his perspective completely without cutting him off. Just to
Everything
re-emphasize how that I was right about how stupid they are. Because that man was just stupid. Just calling in here and said that shit. I don't
Our government is lawless. They're doing whatever they want to do. And it doesn't matter. No one seems to be able to stop them. It's okay that millions and millions and millions and millions and millions are going to lose their health insurance. And at least 20 to 40 million is going to lose it after that if they don't keep this expansion.
Well, not only that, I was just telling Mays earlier, is if they just take the SNAP benefits, if people don't get their SNAP benefits at the beginning of the month, I think that's $90 billion that's going to be taken out of the economy.
Out of the economy, exactly.
That $90 billion, whoever stocked those products that was being bought with SNAP, the truck drivers that bring the products to the store,
it's going to affect them.
It's going to affect
a trickle down effect.
Yeah, it's a whole chain of people that are not going to receive income because those benefits are cut out. And that's another indication of how bad this economy is. I don't know. These people don't have no common sense. ABC never had common sense. He don't have common sense tonight.
And private industry is laying off people. You hear about all the thousands of people that's why the job market is abysmal. Laying off people across this country because of the tariffs. But we didn't have to have tariffs.
And even though,
come on.
Even though, even when people are not going to get medical assistance and this funding going to get cut out for these medical programs, you're talking about doctors and small offices and people who all of that stuff is
who work in the industry.
Yeah.
And you know what's going to also break the medical infrastructure? If you kick all these people off their health care benefits, and those who pay for their health care benefits, they pay for it outright. They just have different things. Some expenses going to allow these health insurance companies to double the premiums that they have to pay. And they're not going to be able to afford to pay it. And what's going to happen, you're going to have more and more people flooding the public hospitals, and they're not going to be able to accommodate all of these people. It's going to destroy our medical infrastructure.
Yeah, that's what Obama did work out with the emergency room visits and stuff like that. And then another talking point.
People would have to run to the emergency room. Yeah. Preventative medicine.
Another talking point that ABC mentioned is that illegals are getting medical care. That's just a lie. Um,
That is such a lie. I don't know why people keep that they're getting snapped. No, they
well,
don't.
I think that because if illegal go to the emergency room, they've got to be taken
They
care
have
of.
to treat them.
But
That's a law
that's
here.
not
It's a law in the
that's not
country.
that's not health care coverage. That's just not.
That's not.
You can't go to the damn emergency room for just basic care. They don't do that.
And if you can't, and when you go to the emergency room because they have to do, this is what they're saying. If you go to the emergency room because you don't have health care, you go to the private hospitals, they have to treat you too and send you on to a public hospital. Who keeps the public hospitals funded and different things like that? The federal government. That is their workaround saying that we're paying for illegals. If an illegal person is working on a roof, doing a work, but he falls and break up himself, and he has to go to, they send him to the public hospital, private hospital, whatever, the Deer's hospital. Private hospital has to patch them up. And if they need longer stay, then they send them to a public hospital. That's the law here. You
Well,
can't just let somebody stay there and die.
I think
And then the federal government, and their money goes to the public hospital and stuff. So that's what they're talking about. So I guess they would prefer that if somebody is illegal or someone is here on a green card or however they get over, however they got over here, that you just let them die.
Yeah,
What type of a human being are you?
Somebody did the numbers, and I think what we're talking about here is either 1% or less than 1% of the migrants that are getting taken care of that way. And the point we're pointing that out is you're talking about you convinced a whole group of people that less than 1% of people is taking medical care away from them, and when it's not even an effect on the system. These migrants that you're talking about,
No, it's not because they can't.
yeah,
They can't get. They can't get the Affordable Care Act. They can't get SNAP. Now, if they're children, and I just found this out about SNAP. I thought the state of Maryland that anybody could go if you don't have food stuff to get SNAP. And about a couple months ago, I Googled. I know you couldn't get health care. You cannot get health care. But I thought they were getting SNAP. No, if you are a legal, like you're here on green card and you're working and this and that, if you have children, they will, if your children are American citizens, like your children were born here, you could get SNAP benefits for them, the American children. Like they're here on green card and stuff like that. You're here on work visa, school visa, green card. If you have children, they could get the children, they give you SNAP for their children that were born here, American children, if you don't have the money to feed them. But what these people do, they have different agencies from private industry, private funds that donate and give these people cards and things, like a Visa card where they could go and get food and stuff. That's basically where they get that stuff from, but they can't get SNAP. Not even people here who are on green cards and things like that. They can't get SNAP. And I was surprised. I thought Maryland was skipping it because we have such a large sanctuary city. I thought that they were getting SNAP, but no. It clearly says it. No, they can't apply for SNAP. If you have to be an American citizen and a state, you have to be a resident of the state to get that.
yeah,
And
but
they keep
they
pushing
convince
that.
these people. They convince these people. That's what the right always need. The right always needs a boogeyman. That's why they came up with the BLM and the DEI and the woke and the CRT. They always got to have a boogeyman to convince these people to do anything or stand for anything. And that's what they did with the migrants, is that they said that they taking away health care. That's why we shutting down the government.
And they're not.
Bullshit.
They could get health care through their jobs. Yes, they could get health care through their jobs. If they're working and paying taxes in the job, they get the job, but they can't get that. That's the thing. People keep saying it. And as far as the LGBT, I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm tired. Q plus of IA community. If you are not that, and if you are someone who is against that, then don't be that.
Yeah,
don't befriend them. Just
because I
don't have
mean
anything. If
the
that is how you feel like that, just don't have that doesn't bother you. How the hell when somebody is doing in their bedroom, if somebody decides that whatever they identify is they want to put on a dress, they want to dress like this, that doesn't affect you. I don't understand how that affects anybody.
yeah, when it's all
If
said
you
and
don't want
done,
to do it, don't do it. Don't be it.
when it's all said and done, the gay community are American citizens, so they should be afforded every right. Period. There's no, there's not even a debate there about what they should be allowed to
Every
do.
right.
Yeah, but look,
If
Alicia.
they're not bothering you, you don't bother them. I'm getting ready to go to because I'm tired.
All right. Well, you have a good night, and guys, if y'all want to call in, y'all can. Appreciate it, Miss Elisa. YouTube gonna get ready to shut y'all
All
down,
right.
and I'm getting ready to open up this line here.
All right, Tyrone. Next week, hopefully we have some good news. I
Yeah,
doubt it,
the
but
country
we'll
might
see.
still be here.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
All
Good
right,
night.
then.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.